Live from the hot air balloon capital of the world, this is Balloon Fiesta Live. The 47th edition of the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, presented by Canon, is happening now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And now, live direct from the rooftop studio at Balloon Fiesta Park, here are Glen Moyer and Lloyd Jr.
And good afternoon and welcome everyone to the 47th Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. We're on the air a bit early this evening because we have a special event.
You bet you. A little bit earlier than originally scheduled.
Yes.
So Team Fast Track has been jumping in here for our evening events. There's the plane in the sky already.
Normally about 5:45, but they've moved the schedule up a bit tonight.
Well, I think they're really realizing that turnaround for the later jump is just a little bit tighter. That's my guess. I don't know that for sure.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Well, yeah, even if we have to make it up. But the plane is in the air. We just passed the 3-minute warning mark before they're going to jump. So Team Fast Track has been bringing in the flag to get our evening events started. And there's the 2-minute warning we're hearing. And so they've been bringing the flag in for the early event. And then they come back and they do this fireworks jump.
Yeah.
So fireworks in the sky after the glow and before our own fireworks on the ground here. Fabulous show last night. We expect it to be again tonight. And, you know, the winds are basically calm here at the field. I think we're going to have a great Glowdeo tonight as well.
Well, it's about time because we've actually not had a lot of luck with the evening events thus
This
far.
year, no.
As far as what.
But it's going to change
weather
tonight.
is concerned.
It's changing tonight.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have to go on hold tonight. I would think we'll go right on to a green flag after briefing is wrapped up, I would hope. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be finally a perfect evening out.
The other good news here is we heard this morning Scott Appleman and Rainbow Riders scheduled an afternoon flight for a number of people, and they are up over on the west side of town.
And so that in itself is a good sign.
If you can... 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute to our jump here. So, yes, they are flying over there, and looks like a very nice, calm flight over there. And so that is just...
there they are.
Yep, they're out there on the west side.
Yep.
And taking a number of people for an afternoon flight, which is a whole nother experience just besides the morning ones as well.
Years ago, I came out pre-Fiesta and made a flight out on the West Mesa, and it's a great place to fly. Back then, it was just wide open space.
Yeah.
And it was almost one of those where you could fly till you're out of fuel and then just fall out of the sky and you couldn't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
It was an awesome place to fly.
The trick there is you just have to make sure when you're doing the afternoon flights that you're down by sundown.
Sure.
So you have to be a little more careful from that.
Right.
So we are 15 seconds away from the jump, the exit the door of Team Fast Track.
They are passing directly overhead north to south along the western side of the field. They're right above you almost, Steve.
Almost straight
right
up
overhead.
there, Steve.
Jumpers are away.
Jumpers are away. I see one.
There's the first chute.
There's two. And a chute. 3. And another chute.
Are we jumping 3 or 4 tonight?
Must be 4 because there's number 4.
Okay, well that would make sense. Looks like we have 4 good canopies, so
yes,
that's
sir.
good.
And we have our live helmet cam video as well.
Oh, we sure do. Look at the monitor.
So a great view of the field. Well, actually, yep, that's the river that we're looking at there, the Rio Grande.
Yep, it'll get just, I'd love for it to be just a shade darker. We can see the monitors a little easier, but that is a beautiful view. And I'm just trying to spot them in the sky. I've lost them against that cloud cover, but...
basically straight up from us, so if you're on the field...
Have they deployed the flag yet? I don't see it.
I don't see the flag deployed.
No,
I see 2 streamers
yet.
Up there.
Usually the streamers deploy first.
Yep, and then the flag.
And they are sponsored, of course, as you can see on one of the parachutes there by Selection.com. Want to be sure we mention that.
Yes.
And
Team Fast Track's a veteran-owned company from Ohio.
There's the flag,
there
just
it is.
unfurled. Look at that.
There you go.
Tyler just radioing down there is 1,000 square feet of freedom right there in the sky. That's awesome.
And there's the shot from the helmet cam. So we can look up and see it. There's the shot from the helmet cam.
Yep. Do we have a dedication on tonight's flight?
We do. And I suppose you want me to get it up and do it.
Well, you know how to do that better than I do.
Actually, I have it right here.
Look at that shot. Look at that trailing the flag.
Yes.
Wow.
So tonight's jump is dedicated to a fallen warrior. Tonight, dedicated to Army Sergeant First Class Houston M. Taylor of Hurst, Texas. The Sergeant Taylor died October 13th, 2011, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. Every jump that Team Fast Track does, they dedicate it to a fallen warrior. And so they are honoring them and, of course, our country by flying the flag in and dedicating these performances to those fallen warriors.
And I can tell you the likes, the loves especially, and a couple of wow emojis are being shared widely on our feed right now on the Facebook page where we can interact with our viewers.
So it looks like we have streamers and a little bit of smoke there coming from those jumpers as well. That makes it really nice to see as they just kind of spiral on down. Feels like you're just kind of jumping with them there with this nice helmet cam video.
It really does. It's as if you were under canopy yourself, especially when they come into land. That shot is pretty awesome once they when they come in and land down here.
Brian Pengburn flying the flag for us. His wife, Ulia Pengburn, with the helmet cam. Our other jumpers are Demetria Dadik and Matt Harvey. Oh, look at that spiral coming down now.
Oh, I think I'd be dizzy.
Looking up and seeing the spiral, and then
look at the monitor.
And look at the monitor of the shot here.
I'm feeling a bit tipsy, and I've not had a scotch. So.
And there's a great shot of the field.
Look at that
as
spiral.
They zero in.
Wow.
Yeah. That is one of the things that's still on my bucket list, to take a skydive.
I've thought about it, but then I'm afraid I would like it so much that I would end up just
doing it again.
Doing it constantly. So I try not to.
And now the fireworks.
Fireworks from our helmet cam camera, our helmet cam diver rather. The first two jumpers down trailing smoke.
Oh, the lower chute does not have the selection.com logo in it, but it has the American flag logo in it.
Oh, okay.
For the first one down. Yeah, I just caught that as they're coming down in. Be landing over there on the west side of the field. The first two coming in.
There you can see the Arroyo around the west side as they're flying south to north to turn in. And there's the first jumper.
The first one.
Nice stand-up touchdown.
Nice stand-up landing.
Here comes number 2.
Here comes the second one, the helmet cam. There's their little half X, their little V.
Little V target.
Right there.
Nice touchdown.
There you go. And now we have two more, the flag.
And now the upper jumper, the last one out, actually stays up above the flag until just now. And now, as you can see, they're spiraling down and actually comes in and lands prior to in front of the flag.
Yeah, keep the flag up as long as possible.
Well, and I think that's so that the camera is down on the ground to get that shot as the flag comes in.
Absolutely. That is one big flag.
That is. As Tyler said, 1,000 square feet of freedom.
Tyler, of course, their chief pilot.
Chief
for Team
pilot,
Fast
yes.
Track.
Who we're able to chat with via radio. So here comes jumper number 3, our helmet cam.
There picks it up. And bum.
Yep. And next down will be the flag. I got a nice shot of the flag this morning, by the way. I haven't posted it yet, but I guess I probably will. Wonder how heavy that is dragging off of his leg that way.
I don't know how heavy it is. I was talking with the jumpers, though, and any wind over 14 miles an hour will actually push him backwards when he's carrying that flag.
Wow.
And there's the flag.
There's the flag down, and
Brian.
jumper number 4 is down safe. What a show.
What a great job. Team Fast Track. Let's hear it for Team Fast Track there. Hit all those likes and emojis on the stream there for us. Yep.
Angela Gazzara
Julia waving at us there.
Yeah, Angela Gazzara says, this is great. No sitting in traffic and walking to see what's happening there. Thank you, thank you. You're welcome,
there
Angela.
You go.
And there goes Tyler with a pass over the field from north
Wave
to south.
At us, Tyler.
And there he goes, right
and
up.
There's the wingtip.
Turning
Great job, Team Fast Track.
Right up
Got
over the rooftop
good.
studio. Nicely done, Team Fast Track.
10-4, Pyrotechnics tonight. So we chatted with them. They are down. We are underway here for our Friday night Glowdeo. Combination of a special shapes rodeo from when the times we would fly our special shapes, combining that with a balloon glow, and we now call it a Glowdeo.
Well, and back in the old days, just to say, before we did the video, this is the time when Tommy and I would take a break, and I could actually enjoy this dinner, but I guess I'll try to keep my mic closed long enough to eat in between.
Yeah, we just don't want to hear the chewing.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be in and out, I guess, while I try to scarf some of this down.
I'm just checking out the crowd here. I see a very nice long, all of our regular shaped pilots are here tonight. It seems like, probably not every one of them, but a whole bunch of the, did I say pirates? Regular shaped pirates? Well, yeah, them too. The regular shaped pilots. That's all those cars along what is that road there, which is called Pilots Parkway, by the way. And so they are all along there to see the show. I think they know that we should have a fabulous Glowdeo tonight. The weather forecasts and the weather conditions right now are actually excellent. Our pilots for our Glowdeo are in the pilot briefing right now, getting the last weather instructions and conditions and the game plan for tonight, just making sure that everybody's on the right page. We do have the yellow flag up now. That just means that we haven't given them to go ahead to inflate yet. But I heard the officials on the radio earlier making sure that they had all the flags ready to go and that they were out there to change those off. Great crowd along Main Street building. If you are still on your way in, you've still got time. We will probably not inflate our special shapes till a little after 6 or so. Sunset tonight is officially at 6:35, although the sun tends to drop down, and with the clouds out there, it will get a little darker a little bit faster as well. So if you're out
No, I was going to say,
go ahead.
Our friend Colby Jones, who's been watching religiously from South Carolina, says that he's asking what's for dinner. We're having spaghetti with marinara sauce, fruit salad, breadsticks, and, of course, Creamland dairy chocolate milk. Colby, just so you know.
Hazel's back home in Phoenix, Arizona. How come you went home so early, Hazel? Hey, we're having a great time here. The weather's just getting better here. So let's see what else we have checking in. Hey, did I just see Chicago? Yeah, hello from Chicago. Hi there, Abby.
There's Rebecca Webb watching from Georgia. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're safe in Georgia. I haven't caught up recently on what's happening with Storm Michael.
Yes. Carolyn's checking in from Sarasota, Florida.
There's, I'm going to murder that name. Mabuba? I'm sorry. Last name is Ahmad, and I apologize, sir, for not being able to get your first name out, but glad that you're watching. Yes, Colby Jones, it is yummy. Watching
I see the one you were talking about. Yep.
Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Glen Moyer joined the feed.
I was here from the start, but I'm taking a dinner break, so lighten up out
well,
there.
I'm scroll. Sometimes you have to go back and scroll through the comments there. Hey,
Yeah,
Tucson, Arizona is represented. Hi, Margaret.
Abby Murray from Chicago, the Windy City. Katrina checking in from Arkansas.
Rebecca says thanks for the awesome coverage. And so you are welcome. We are glad to bring you Balloon Fiesta Live. Of course, we are live on the Balloon Fiesta website, balloonfiesta.com. That's where you'll see our YouTube feed, as well as on YouTube itself, the Balloon Fiesta channel there, and also on Facebook. And Glenn, I updated our viewership numbers
Yeah?
before coming on the air this afternoon. We have now gone over 800,000 views.
Outstanding.
So, of course, we only had about 380,000 last year.
So we've doubled that, more than doubled that, and now we're
shooting for $1 million.
Shooting for $1 million.
That was the goal. I threw that out to me.
And in my defense, we were scheduled to go on at 5:45, so I would have had time to have had dinner, except the jumpers decided, the Team Fast Tracks decided to go early at 5:30, so we're on the air early. So,
well, and you're right. I was eating mine. I was just finishing up.
You got the call downstairs. You were just finishing
I was downstairs finishing up, got the text that it was time for the live video feed. It's just 5:20, and they said we're jumping at 5:30. So we did not. I was all prepared for the 5:45.
Yeah. So I'm just saying the only reason I'm eating dinner
now
while we're on the air is because we went on the air early.
Well, so that means you have 3 minutes to finish that dinner.
Well, in that case, I better shut this mic off and eat.
Well, we made you talk a little bit, so we'll buy you some time there. So we were talking about the great crowd down there. We've got a whole long row of vendors and concessions. More than 75 booths that you can visit down there. A little bit of everything for you. Half the booths down there are food, so if you skipped over your dinner, now would be a great time to go down there and have some dinner or late lunch or dessert, whichever fits into your meal plans. We have our kids zones at the north and south end of the field that you may go check out as well. And, of course, at the very far north end of the field, there's about 3 different activities there. There's a bunch of little pointy tents out there. Those are the chainsaw carving competitions and demonstrations. Fabulous opportunities for you to watch these guys and gals take these huge tree stumps and turn them into just masterworks of art. Those are the little pointy tents out there. Many of those will be either auctioned off or raffled off, and then a number of smaller items. Well, I say smaller. They start smaller and they get big as well. Those are available for purchase as well. There you're seeing on our feed the live little pointy tents there. Just to the right of that, there is an L-shaped white tent. That is the Balloon Discovery Center out there. Great hands-on opportunities for kids of all ages out there. There's actually a balloon flight simulator out there that you can practice flying the balloon into a target. There you see it there. And lots of other hands-on activities. I think they're still doing passports out there for kids who can work through the activities and get a stamp at the different stations. And then if we move just a little bit more to the right, there's another tent there that is the Artisans tent, the Fiesta Artisans tent. It is a juried arts and crafts show, very fine arts and crafts, I should mention. And a great place for you to go out and check it out. There you can see a nice shot of the tent. Even see that it says Artisans at Fiesta right there on the top of that tent. So those 3 things are out there at the north end of the tent. North end of the field. There is also a north merchandise tent out that direction, and there's one here at the south end. And I mentioned this morning, I was talking with Lisa Mulder, our merchandise manager, and she was telling me that the official merchandise is selling out very quickly.
You were saying that, that things are going very early. Too often people think, well, I'll wait till the last weekend.
I'll pick it up on the way out.
They'll have all this stuff left, and it'll be cheap. There'll be a fire sale. Well,
not going to happen this year.
Not happening.
Not happening.
And doesn't happen most years.
But it is definitely this year. Well, a number of years ago, Balloon Fiesta brought the whole merchandising, sportswear, all that stuff back in-house. And Lisa has done just a great job of putting those all that stuff together. And there's a great variety of shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and cap and T-shirts. There's even, I think we have them down here on the field, a Coca-Cola Balloon Fiesta T-shirt that is packaged to look like a Coca-Cola can. So it looks like you're buying this can of Coke, but it's really a T-shirt wrapped up nicely that way. A moment ago, you saw some of the balloons in the sky. That would be the Rainbow Riders. They're flying over on the west side of town, and they have another 45 minutes in the sky. There they are again. So the ride concessions that normally fly from the field here in the morning, Scott Appleman tells us that they take about 350 people up every morning in his 38 or 40 balloons. The weather was so cooperative this afternoon that they scheduled an afternoon flight and have taken a number of people up on the west side.
was just watching, while I'm having dinner, I'm watching our feed and the comments on the Facebook page. I had already a couple of folks checking in from Mexico.
All right.
Yeah, and wishing us well, and as well as sites all across the USA. Did the skydivers jump already? Yes, Gary. They jumped a little early. Our apologies that if you've missed it, but yeah, they went at 5:30 this evening instead of at 5:45 as scheduled, which is why, as I was just explaining, that I'm trying to have dinner while I'm on the air. I don't normally try to do that, but tonight
Guttenberg, Iowa,
caught us a little quickly. So but they will be jumping again after the balloon glow. They'll be doing their night jump, and if you didn't see that last night, you really need to stay tuned for that because the pyrotechnics jump and the live video feed of them leaving the aircraft and seeing Balloon Fiesta Park at night is really something awesome to see.
So I mentioned that Guttenberg, Iowa is checked in. I've actually been to Guttenberg, Iowa. So you've been there too? It's, about a half a mile long strip of town right along the Mississippi there. Locks right outside the school. It's been a few years since I've been there, but yeah. Abilene, Texas is checking in. Hi from Arkansas, La Crosse, Wisconsin. And Neil is waiting for his wife to get out of work so he can head on down here. You got time, Neil, as long as she doesn't take too much. Yep. Oh, Painting with a Twist is here. Come paint with us. So lots of great folks checking in online here. We are going to have a great glow tonight. I'm just going to go out on a limb and I'm just going to say it. I'm going to predict it. I'm going to promise it. That's a pretty big leap, but we're going to have a great special shaped glow tonight, or Glowdeo as we call it. It's kind of like, since we can have balloons in the sky as we see the Rainbow Riders on our video, as they fly on the west side, things are there. And the wind is absolutely very calm here on the field. So we are scheduled to get started with that in the next half hour, 45 minutes. There you can see the flags on one of our golf carts here. Barely any breeze at all. It is going to be a fabulous night here at Balloon Fiesta, and we deserve one. We deserve a good night here. We've had some weather issues with our previous glows.
You know, you're right. It's time that we have a good evening and a great Glowdeo because we haven't had any yet.
Yep. Melissa Bond, who is our assistant balloon meister, who comes up and joins us to call the glows, is has told me last night she's never lost this many glows in the number of years she's been the assistant balloon meister.
Well, you know, so I've done this 29 years now, and I don't know that we've ever lost that many. We've canceled
we have one here and one there maybe, but yeah, to have lost really three
so far.
Out of this,
yeah,
so.
We lost. Did we glow Saturday night, opening Saturday night? No, we didn't.
No, we did not glow. We had to cancel, and then we canceled the whole show on Sunday night because it was
yeah.
And then we waited it out and waited it out and waited it out last night, and it just didn't calm down like we expected. So
yeah, just a. So yeah, we're due.
We are due
for a really nice Glowdeo.
Look at all the folks out there. This is basically right down in front of us. You see the Canon sponsor hospitality tent. This is not the tent where you go and check out the camera gear and all that other stuff. This is where Canon is taking care of their customers and their employees. And actually the building that you see in the upper left, kind of just on the right side of that building, that is the rooftop studio. You can see that. So if I wave here, let's see if we can't quite see me. But that is the rooftop studio right above the... There it is. So Ruth Lind is down on the field for us as one of our reporters. Doing a great job, Ruth. Who have you got now?
Oh, I have Carol Weiner with me here this evening. And Carol has been to, let's see, how many Balloon Fiestas?
I started coming in 1983. My first flight out here was in 1993.
And you, for a long time, had a whole series of special shaped balloons. Tell us about some of those.
I did. We had the 4 seasons. We had a round balloon built with the seasons on it. There was a snowman, a daisy, a pumpkin, and a sun. And so we started making shapes on them. And so at one time we had the 4 shapes. We had the 4 shapes out here and 4 round balloons. At one time we had 8 balloons out here.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of balloons. What do you have out here this year?
My son, actually, he's a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. He's flying a red, white, and blue balloon. And that's the only one we have out here. Big change for us.
So you're able to relax and enjoy Fiesta a little bit more.
I am, and I have grandchildren out here, which is nice. So my son is a fourth generation balloonist, so which is very rare in this sport. And so I'm hoping my grandchildren will be the fifth generation.
Oh my goodness, that's terrific. Where does the time go, Carol? Where does it go? Carol, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we'll go back up to you guys upstairs.
Thanks, Ruth. The regular shape with the Four Seasons on the side of them actually is still flying here. It's no longer Carol's balloon. Balloons do tend to change hands, but that one is still flying around here. We've seen it most mornings up in the sky with the snowman, the sun, the jack-o'-lantern. What's the fourth one on the other side?
The Daisy.
Daisy, there you go. So that one has been flying here, and I remember when all those other shapes were here as well. I actually see the cannon balloon starting to put some cold air in there. So
Yep. I actually bumped into Carol just on the way out this morning through our
you didn't
sponsor
hurt her,
office.
did you?
No, I didn't physically bump into her. I might have hurt her. But no, so we had a nice little reunion downstairs, a quick hello. And you're right, we see the cannon balloon, and the fact that it's inflating this early and all seems well is another good sign that we are in for what should be a really good night tonight.
And Johnny Petrin will stand the cannon balloon up. Once he gets that balloon stood up, then usually we haven't seen our officials yet. Oh, looks like they're starting to gather up here. Once he stands that up, that's kind of the signal for the special shapes to be able to start their inflations. They will stand up, and Cannon will put his down, put it back up again for the fireworks, so he's standing up during the fireworks.
Yep.
And, of course, the laser light show that hits later tonight as well. I see Great Expectations laying out just right here in front of us. I called it now. You got me doing it now.
Yeah, you were saying that since this is the second generation balloon, they changed the name on it. But
well, everybody called it the Stork when its real name was Great Expectations.
Well, I didn't. I always called it Great Expectations.
But everybody else called it the Stork.
Okay.
We were the only ones that had the name right.
So now that they have a second one, they've changed the name to the Stark, and you and I are calling it Great Expectations. So
that's it. Well, that's what happens. Just as we talked about with Carol, those balloons changing hands, you make a second version, you want to change it. A lot of times they'll call it whatever it was 2 or whatever it was junior or 3, or they'll do things like that. But in this case, they decided to go back with the generic, the Stork.
I just had some guests here on the tower a moment ago, too, some good friends from the UK. Chris Levachuk was up, who is the pilot of, I think he's flying. Can you recall from this morning? Is he flying Puddles or Splash? He's flying
I believe he's Puddles.
I think he's Puddles. He's flying one of the Penguins, and 2 of his crew folks, Tom and Kristen, who are great friends from over in the UK that come out and work with us at Longleat at the Sky Safari. We're just up to say hello, and just as I looked around, I think, oh, nope, they disappeared. I think they had to go. I think actually he's got to stand Puddles up this evening as part of the Shapes Rodeo, so they probably had to go back downstairs and go to work. And then other friends are off to the side here. Roger Clark is here from South Carolina. Roger and I met, back in 1988, the first year that I went to South Carolina as the announcer for Freedom Weekend in the Loft that used to be held in Greenville, South Carolina. I met Roger. He was just a young whippersnapper at the time, and had a pirate crew. You were talking about when you misspoke. All the regular shaped pirates are here tonight. Roger was one of those back in the day. And,
all the special shape and regular shape pirates are here, and many of the regular shape pilots.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all here.
Absolutely. But Roger's entire family, they became like family then, as often happens in ballooning, and we remain close all these years later. His dad, Dwayne, passed away some years ago, sadly, but his mom, Emily, still over there, and his older brother Mike, and their sister Dana, and it used to be when I would head over to the Nationals, when we had the U.S. Nationals in Anderson, South Carolina, we get to visit every year. I don't get to the Southeast as much as I used to anymore, but we always try to get together whenever we can. So
here's a view from our camera that's more towards the middle of the field. It's looking at the top of the cannon balloon.
Okay.
So the red is the upper part of the balloon, and that little black spot up there, that is the actual top parachute vent. And now here's looking from the south end. And I was going to point out, if you look just to the right of that cannon balloon, you see this black box being set up down there. That is the Music Fiesta stage, because tomorrow it's Music Fiesta time here at Balloon Fiesta. A great concert lineup tomorrow afternoon. Starting at 1 o'clock, the local NOMS band will kick things off. At 2:30, Michael Ray will take the stage. And then at 4 o'clock, it's Old Dominion. So a great lineup of country music coming up your way tomorrow right here on the Balloon Field. We will not stream that live due to obviously copyright issues and things like that. But you can still get a ticket if you're in town.
I was
going to
say, we should note that, we should note that you do have to have a separate ticket for entry into Music Fiesta. It is not a part of the normal entry into Balloon Fiesta. It's essentially a separate event that takes place here at Balloon Fiesta Park, but it does require a separate individual ticket.
And there are a number of levels of seating areas that is available out there. There's a grass area, there's reserved seating, there's some general admission. Tickets on balloonfiesta.com. That would be the best way to get those. You know, I didn't realize that 2/3 of the ticket sales for Music Fiesta actually happen in the week before Balloon Fiesta and the week of Balloon Fiesta.
Oh, wow.
People make their decision to come to Music Festival very late, which means there's still good seats available for you to be able to do that. And with a huge park here, you'll be able to enjoy all of that music.
Absolutely, yeah.
A moment ago, they texted out that the pilot briefing for our special shape pilots is over, and they are headed out to put up the green flag. I can't quite see whether it is green or not, partly because no matter what color flag they put up, the winds are so light it just kind of hangs limp on the pole.
I was looking earlier and I couldn't see it, so although I suppose if I grab my binoculars from Canon, maybe I could solve that problem. Let's see.
Well, there it is. Look at that shot. It's the green flag right off the top. You can barely see it over the top of the main stage there.
I hate it when our production guys steal our thunder. But yes, now that I have my Canon binoculars on, and you're right, the reason you can't see it is because all the other evenings this year, it's been starched.
Standing straight out.
Yeah,
not tonight.
Been blowing in the wind, literally, and tonight it's just hanging there, which is a great sign. That's what we want to see.
Well, look how stable the Cannon balloon is.
Yeah,
Johnny Petrin and Cannon there, just standing up nice and still. There is no wobble, no rocking and rolling, and definitely a change from the last few evenings that we've had here. So now that is basically the signal for pilots to go ahead and lay out and cold inflate and hot inflate their special shapes, and we'll get our Glowdeo underway here. There's a crew coming in with the crew waving to the crowd, having a great time.
I saw a comment from someone online saying that Pegasus was setting up. Pegasus, one of the two pig balloons we have here. Pegasus being the pink pig with the sunglasses, the cool pig, as it were, the one that all the cool pigs hang out with. And then we have When Pigs Fly, brought to us by Doug Gant, which is, the balloon is actually called Hamlet.
Yes. Some of his crew were having dinner down there with us earlier, and so they should be out there working. I told him that Doug hadn't been up to see us this week yet. He usually comes up and says hi. Tells us the great story about how the balloon came to be and the phrase on there, When Pigs Fly.
Yep, that's a bit of a tribute to his dad, who, when he was a kid, Doug was fairly inquisitive and always asking why this and when that, and his dad's usual answer was, you know, son, that'll happen when pigs fly.
So Doug built a balloon,
he decided to make pigs
fly.
And
he made pigs fly.
Absolutely.
Hi, Melissa. We are good. How are you? We're going to do it tonight. See, there's the official word from Melissa Bond. We're going to do it. She's bringing the radio up here so that we can call that glow.
She was about to get fired. I don't know if she knew that.
Peter Cuneo.
Hey, Peter. How are you, sir? Hello. Good to see you.
Are you guys glowing tonight?
We're not.
Oh, no, because it's a glow day. You're going to glow tomorrow night. We're supposed to glow tomorrow. Yeah. You're not special.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but...
Talk to us here. Peter Cuneo joins us here on stage. Peter... flying his regular balloon here, normally flying gas, but no gas race this year. You normally let me fly with your balloon, but
You're too busy this year.
I'm too busy How the flights been?
Well, they've been interesting. We've flown all days except one. Wednesday was probably the most interesting one. I probably had about 14 people hanging on my basket before I took off.
Wow.
Nice landing on the reservation, right on the road. I only had about a half-hour retrieve.
That's good.
A lot better than some of the folks who landed a little bit later. We were at the north end of the field, and the wind was going to the north, so we got to take off first, which is unusual for us.
Right,
Usually
normally it's the south end goes first.
Usually when you're north end of the field, you take off last.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that we got off first, we didn't fly very long. I got west of the river over into Corrales for a little while, but then I hooked back and landed on the reservation. But the reservation police weren't quite as busy early in the morning as they were later.
You got into the first wave.
Day.
That was good.
Tuesday, I landed at Domingo Baca soccer fields over there, San Pedro, north of Paseo. That nice green grass field. Today I did a city street landing with a drop line. Had some help from the crew to get me down.
Okay.
That was good.
Drop line, basically a rope that you drop down. The crew kind of catches that and keeps the balloon from moving into other obstacles.
It's a 150-foot long rope, and only use it in really calm conditions, because if it's windy, the balloon is going to go where it wants to go.
It's going to drag whoever grabs onto that rope, so yeah.
You don't want to put it down there and have some unsuspecting person try and grab onto it.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
We had our crew there, and they knew what they were doing, and it was about 1 mile an hour wind. So
yeah, so it was great flying this morning.
It was good. It was much, much better than the forecast, but the forecast is always a worst-case forecast to keep the pilots
So
safe.
is the crew missing me out there?
Oh, desperately. They put up signs. Where is Art Lloyd Jr.?
I've gotten a couple texts from them, and I've been seeing their Facebook pages and posts, and so looks like you guys are having a great time, and you have a lot of folks out there, and you got it handled.
And I really appreciate that you're wearing our shirt.
I am tonight. I am wearing the Sandia
Nobody can
Sunrise
see it.
shirt. And we've
good
we've
deal.
seen you in the sky, but because you're on the north end and don't tend to fly this way, we don't get to talk about you
We
too
don't
much.
get to wave very much. That's okay.
So
If you did say something, it probably would be bad. But,
no, we
No,
only
not
say
us.
good things
No,
up here.
no.
We
So
only
as far
say-
as the gas goes, we're hoping it comes back next year. And the only reason it didn't happen this year is because it had a conflict with the World Championship, which was happening in Switzerland.
Yes.
Virtually within a week of when we were supposed to be flying over here. And we usually get a good complement of gas balloons. Cut me off at any point if I'm rambling, if you need to say anything important. Okay. But because of the fact that it takes about 10 days at the best to ship a balloon from Europe to the United States, and we only had about 4 days between the end of one event and the beginning of the next one, unless you happen to have two balloons, which most people don't even have one gas balloon.
Well, and then just on the pilot and the crew to spend 3 or 4 days flying over there, get on a plane,
True.
fly back here, and then get right back up in it again. That's pretty taxing, I would guess.
It is unbelievably taxing. It's like sitting in. There goes. Is that Barbara? No, that's not Barbara. That's somebody else. Anyway,
Barbara would be your wife out there.
Barbara would be my wife.
If she has the
mostly
cart
is.
and she's leaving you, is that what you were
That's
afraid
what I
of?
was a little worried about, but it wasn't her. That's okay. Anyway, we're hoping to have the America's Challenge back here next year and have a good complement of American and European balloons. And by the way, an American finished in second place in the
That's
Gordon
right.
Bennett
We
this
have
year.
talked about that.
That's right.
Oh, good. Okay,
Andy
so I
Caton.
don't have to repeat
Andy Caton, yep.
And
actually,
Mike
they
Smith.
were in the lead right up until close to the end when the Polish team made that remarkable maneuver right
It looked
through that
like
little
Andy
slit
was
of
going to
open
have it there,
airspace.
and then last minute the Polish team kept going. And
Yep, kept going.
And actually two
superseded
different
him.
directions. The winner was far north of the launch space,
Right.
and the second place, Andy, was far south.
Yes.
So different
and there were
tracks
teams
and
that were
different.
heading west.
Yeah, there were
balloons
different
landed
tracks.
in France, Poland, Italy, Switzerland, maybe even
All over the
Austria.
place.
Yeah, it was scattershot this year. Very unusual.
Well,
but
I
that's
think-
the way flying in Europe goes.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping and planning on America's Challenge being back in
Yes.
2019. There's been a lot of folks on our feed here have kind of asked about it, and we've tried to tell them that all the plans are such. It's only on hold because of the timing issue you just described. And so I think we are moving forward with plans for 2019 America's Challenge back here.
We'll be there. We're planning on it.
Excellent.
And we're planning on a glow tonight also.
We're going to have a great
Yes,
glow,
we
and you
are.
get to be the spectator, and
Tonight.
you'll get to see those Team Fast Tracks jump with their fireworks tonight after the glow.
We saw them jump once already, and they're going to go up and do it again after
Yes,
dark.
that's
right,
right.
with
Even
fireworks. Did you see them last night?
Well, they had fireworks coming down today too.
No,
Yeah,
but when
nothing
when
like
it's
they do
dark,
tonight.
Oh yeah, it's going to look
when it's
spectacular.
dark and their suits light up and they literally are sending fireworks off in the sky.
It's awesome.
It is
It
absolutely
just an
awesome.
incredible show.
Are you getting your live feed?
Yes.
Yep, we are.
Oh,
Yeah, we are.
you were
We
sure,
have
but
got
we
the live
actually,
feed from the helmets.
sweet.
We're getting our drone feed occasionally, live feed over there, so everything's coming along well.
We actually had video of them in the aircraft before leaving, before they exited.
Wow.
and
The whole
jumped.
inside
It
of the
was
plane
awesome.
is lit up from the lights on their suits.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's coming
So
up
it's great.
tonight, right after the Glowdeo. So be sure those
Be
of you
sure
that are
and
online,
stick around for that.
stay online for that. It's an awesome video to see.
So, Peter Cuneo, thanks for joining
You
us,
are
stopping
very
by and chatting with us here. Continue to have safe flights the rest of the week
We
here.
will do that. We got
And
2 more scheduled. And how are you guys holding up?
we're doing
we're
well.
gonna
I
make
think.
it. I think we'll
How's
make
the
it.
schedule for you guys here?
Yeah, it's. I could use a little more sleep, but otherwise, I think we'll be
We all
okay.
could.
I got a 2-hour nap this afternoon.
Wow.
I'm in good shape to go here now.
I'm
so.
impressed.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you, Peter.
You're
Appreciate you
welcome.
coming by.
Thanks,
Hi to
Peter.
the crew
Good
out
to
there.
see you.
Take care, Glenn.
And I think while we've been talking with Peter, Ruth has rounded up a guest down at her location. So let's pitch it down to Ruth on the field.
They're going to Ruth.
Well, actually, I think you're going to me.
And his
Well, I pitched to Ruth. I didn't realize you had somebody too, Kim. So where are
Ruth's
we going,
on.
Gary?
Let's go, Ruth.
Or Steve? Let's go, Ruth first.
Okay, they said, let's go, Ruth. And I'm down here with Ty Young from the Balloon Fiesta Board of Directors and his daughter, Mila. Hi, Mila.
Hi.
And Ty, in addition to being on the Board of Directors and a pilot, has one of the coolest chase vehicles on the field. Tell us about it, Ty.
It is a 1941 American LaFrance fire truck. It's been out here since 1983, and it's probably more a fixture than I am out here.
Oh my goodness, yes, I remember seeing it for many years. Were you the first person to have it, or is it a legacy?
It's a legacy in our family. My dad started it, and I'm keeping it going.
Oh, how wonderful. Mila, do you get to ride on the fire truck a lot?
Yeah, I'm part of the chase crew.
Oh, you are. And are you going to go to balloon camp and learn how to be a pilot someday?
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, I think you've got one of the best dads around for something like that. So thank you guys very much for joining us. You can go ahead and have some dinner, and we'll talk to you again soon. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Ruth. Now let's head right back out to the field and Kim Vesley.
Hello. I was going to say hello to Peter. I think half of his crew is doing Balloon Fiesta Live this week.
Yeah, because you're on the crew as well.
Yep, same crew. Well, we have a very tall launch director here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, my name is Nick Chavez. I'm a launch director here at Balloon Fiesta.
And so how long have you been a launch director?
This is my 2nd year.
So your 2nd year of a full-fledged launch director, right?
Yes, last year they gave me a red hat.
So you were a ZIT last year, a zebra in training.
Technically I am still a ZIT 2, but since they didn't give me a hat this year, I got my own made, so I made myself official.
Whoa, okay. Well, you're telling us you have to run out because everybody is going to start laying out here in just a couple of minutes. How is what you do at an event like this different from what you do on a morning launch?
So during the morning launch, we want to be safe, coordinated launch. But here tonight, during this event, we want to be safe glows.
So a safe, coordinated glow then.
Safe, coordinated glows.
So what do you actually do when you're around the balloons?
We collect a bunch of chit from the pilots. Almost every pilot has a pile of chits. That would be the main thing that we do. The second is safety. We want to walk around the basket, make sure there's no tears or anything in the envelopes when they're bringing the baskets down. Watch crown lines and keep the crowd away from all the crown lines.
Yeah, what he's referring to with the chits, it's kind of like taking attendance, right?
More or less. It's a way that we know that they were here, they participated. We don't take chits until they stand up the envelope. No fire, no chit.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go because you're going to have a busy night ahead. Thank you very, very much. And back to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. You know, this would be a great time to remind the folks here on the field that, you know, in about 30 minutes or so, it's going to get pretty darn dark on the field, except when the balloons light things up. So this would be a great time to check with your friends, neighbors, family, whoever is here with you, to figure out a nice meeting spot so that you can find each other in the dark. Pick a spot. There are a number of white pylons, if you will, along the field that mark off the different squares. There is a letter and a number on those, so you might be at L4, you might be at M3, and they mark the four corners of that square. So pick one of those or some other spot on the field and say, hey, if we get separated, we're going to meet back at this particular space. And that's a great way to keep track of everybody. Because once all these balloons stand up, you're going to go, oh, I got to see that one, I got to see that one. Oh, let me go see that one, and you'll get separated, almost guaranteed. So be sure and have a great meeting spot. And, of course, it would be great if you made sure you knew where the flashlight feature on your phone was and some of the other winky blinky light types of things, because we'd like to have you participate and glow with us as well. So our special shapes now are starting to put some cold air into the envelopes. Great shot of center stage there, the Wells Fargo Stagecoach. Beth Wright Smith, the head of the Wells Fargo balloon program, and so she's the one that typically flies center stage, standing it up for a glow tonight. I see their big chase vehicle there with someone up on the roof of the chase vehicle, kind of watching it stand up, actually as watching the inflation. And a number of the other balloons. I see Peg Leg Pete down here at the south end. We've mentioned the Stork. I see Hamlet that we talked about. I see the Cutie Dink balloon out there. And so I suspect we will see the majority of our 100 or so special shapes standing their balloon up tonight for our Glowdeo. They bring their balloons because they want to share them with everyone, and so they are here to do that. And a little disappointment last night, but we're going to make up for that tonight with a fabulous Glowdeo right here on the field. Bringing your family, let's see, let me check in here. Iris says she's bringing her family out for the first time ever from Phoenix, Arizona. Iris, we will be glad to see you and everyone else that comes out here. Checking in from Ohio, hoping to spot our family that traveled out this weekend. Leslie, we'll help keep an eye out for them, but with about 80 or 90,000 people on the field here, we may or may not be able to see them, but we'll keep an eye out for them as well. So we are getting our balloons inflated slowly, but we still have another 25 minutes or so before it's sundown, and it's really nice and dark for our glow. So we'll continue to work through that. And Glenn, you have a guest here for us?
Yep, I've got a guest here joining us, Tim Lloyd, who is a member of the BFA board of. Take that mic, actually, Kim.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
I can use this one.
Good to see you.
Tim is just recently re-elected member of the board of directors. Is that right? Yep, starting his second term. And has been secretary of the board for his first term, and I think we rather swiftly re-elected you before you had a chance to say no. But I wanted to talk with Tim because one of the things that he does that's quite unique, he does a long jump every year,
yes,
a high-altitude, long-distance jump to raise funds for a very special organization and special cause. Tell us about that, Tim.
It's called the Extreme Flight to Find a Cure.
Is this mic on?
Is it on?
It is. It is.
Okay,
yeah.
it's Extreme Flight to Find a Cure.
There you go.
There we go.
It's a long-distance, high-altitude flight. I raise for many organizations as well, cancer organizations, I should say.
Right.
And I take loved ones, names of loved ones, people that have dealt with cancer, so the general public can visit my website, www.techvisions, that's TECvisions.org, to learn more about that flight that will take place this winter.
Right. But people can also, they can contribute to your flight, to the cause, and you can also submit names of loved ones. My mom, for example, is a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and people like that, like myself or anyone, and those who have lost people to cancer can submit their names to you, and then you take those names aloft and do what during the flight?
I read the names, I videotape it as I'm reading the names, and sometimes it's maybe a story behind the names or a picture. People submit those as well.
Right.
Yes.
And so how many years now have you done this?
This coming up will be the 7th year.
7th year,
yes.
Wow.
And of course, I pray for those people as well. I've got to introduce my lovely crew chief, who it wouldn't be happening without me, is Elsie, my wife here.
Yes.
So yes, the names will be submitted to myself. I will read the names in flight. I'll go to altitudes above 17,000 feet and they've been anywhere from 105 to 413 miles in distance as
Wow.
well.
A little cold up there, isn't it?
So,
No more than a deer hunter standing on a deer stand.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
dress for it.
all right, but let me ask you, what is your thought when he's up doing this every year? Because this is not just a typical Saturday morning fun balloon flight. This takes some planning. Anytime you're doing a high altitude, long distance flight, there's a certain element of risk involved. Are you comfortable with all of that?
Yes, because I have faith in God, and God will watch over him at all times
Yeah.
and protect him. So yeah, I have no problem with him
Now,
doing this.
do you crew on the balloon when he's on those flights?
I have done almost all of them. The
Yes.
very first long jump he ever did before he did the extreme flight,
Okay.
I didn't go on that one. So, but most all the rest of them I've been there for him and with him.
So tell us one more time, Tim, what's the website where people can get information about the flight and support you if they want to?
www.techvisions,
Visions, okay.
.org.
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 Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
And again, Tim is a member of the Board of Directors of the Balloon Federation of America, so you can reach out to him on the website, bfa.net as well.
He also flies the Dawn Patrol show for us.
He
except
does.
He missed out on the first weekend
Well,
here.
we gave him a pass because
Because I wanted to bring that up. I know
Okay.
why he wasn't here. Tell us why you weren't here,
our
Tim.
daughter decided to get married last Saturday, and she did say, "Dad, you have the choice. You can go to Fiesta or walk me down the aisle." Like that was
Yes.
right. Like that's a choice.
And
right?
I think you made the wise choice.
Oh, yes,
could you not have raised her a little more correctly so that she would not get married
Or
on
bring the
Fiesta
wedding
week?
here.
talked
Or bring the
about
wedding
we
here. There
asked
you
her
go.
to
Dawn
get-
Patrol wedding. Why
how
not?
many weddings? You may know how many weddings have been in the air in Fiesta. Not many, and then the honeymoon after. I mean,
Yeah.
what a deal!
What a deal. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at all the guests they would have had.
Oh man, yes, the biggest wedding.
And not have to pay for them.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to you and her on their marriage. We're happy for
Yeah,
that.
Congratulations to you as parents and to your daughter. Please pass
Thank you
those
very
along
much,
from
yes.
us.
You
Thank
bet.
you very much.
So,
And the easy pass on not being here. We'll see you in the morning. for
Yeah,
Dawn
we
Patrol
understand.
show.
We'll see you for Dawn Patrol show in the
I'll be
morning.
up. Yep. Thank you.
Right and early.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks.
Thank you for
Tim
coming by.
Floyd and his lovely wife, ladies and gentlemen, with his long-distance flight to find the cure, as well as being a member of Dawn Patrol show, which we'll see bright and early in the morning.
Well, dark
And
and early in the morning.
Have we got
anyway,
any
so-
Balloon Fiesta Live pins? My pins fell out of my pockets.
I do. Let me I have
Yeah,
to dig for 'em
can we
here.
get a couple of them for them?
I think
I
we
have
can
pins.
do that.
Wait, I may have some extras in my bag. Let me look too while we're doing that. And out on the field, as we're doing some rather informal personal pin trading here, we have a number of the shapes are coming to life. And so we're moving closer and closer to
a lot of cold air in a lot of those balloons out there. We can start to see all the shapes take shape, as you will here.
So which pins did you have?
I gave them the Balloon Fiesta and my announcer pins, Balloon Fiesta Live. So they just need your announcer pins.
Well, and that's the one I think I don't have. I have a bag of Balloon Fiesta Live pins here.
I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, well, I thought I had some of those still here. Well, we actually have a different one. Mine's blue.
There's blue and red ones there, Tim.
I'll get you one. I've got all I have with me, strangely enough, is a bag of the Balloon Fiesta Live pins. We'll get you covered, Tim. Thanks for coming up. It's good to see you both.
So I see Tiamo there, the white hands on top of the red heart. Just this side of that looks like that might be Spidey Pig, the red and blue with the white feet.
And I have a nice Tiamo pin, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah, Mike
I
Schrum.
need one of those.
Mike Schrum was kind enough to cross my palm with silver.
Thank you very much.
Or with a pin. Thank you, Mike.
It's probably a red pin, right?
It is yes, it is a red pin because the balloon
Tiamo
is red.
is red and white.
Yeah, it's a big red heart.
Black. There's the stork, and there's Coco, the balloon, on the right-hand side with Cannon standing up right in the middle.
Glow Kehoe is here with the Blue Chair Bay rum balloon, and just next to them, I think I heard you already talking about Peg Leg Pete, the pirate parrot.
And Itsy Bitsy, the preventive pest control balloon off to the right of that, not on our feed here. But Ruth has managed to snag another person down there. Ruth, who you got?
I don't know if I would say that I snagged him, but I was fortunate enough to meet Marc Andre from Switzerland. Marc was the deputy director of the Gordon Bennett balloon race this year. You know what, Marc? We were all watching it online, and what a wildly divergent track those balloons flew on. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was really crazy. Like we I said before the race how amazing it would be to actually have 2 divergent tracks how they fly, and eventually we even had 3 tracks right now. So we had a winner flying to Poland, we had the second actually USA 2 flying into Italy, and we had very good scores in France as well. So they really flew in 3 different directions.
I think a lot of us were pretty shocked to see all those tracks on the map go flying different places. Talk to me a little bit about the software that you use so that we can all watch the balloons from around the world.
Yeah, that's actually, we are now using a system called YB tracking. It's actually a system that is built for sailing. So they use that a lot to track sailing races, and they modified it for the Gordon Bennett need so that we can really very nicely show it to public. We have a very reliable, very high frequent interval tracking so that we know where the balloons are for safety reasons, but also the public knows where they are and they can follow the race.
And you were reporting altitude as well as speed and direction and location. Do any of the pilots object to that?
No, I think nowadays it's like a common understanding that seeing the directions of the pilot flying is kind of, everybody sees what the others is doing. It's still like in gas balloon racing, you still don't know what the strategy of the other team. It's not like you can just follow. You need to make sure you can get rid of your ballast and you can fly to that altitude. So I don't see that they're really following each other. They're still flying their own strategies.
That's terrific. Well, thank you so much, Mark. We're very glad that you're here at Balloon Fiesta with us sharing our event, and we hope we'll see you again next year. Glenn?
Thank you, Ruth. And you're absolutely right. It was amazing. I think so many of us who were watching the Gordon Bennett flight, and it was thrilling right up to the end. We were talking with Peter Cuneo earlier how for a while there it looked like Andy Caton and his co-pilot, USA 2, might win the event, and then just at the last moment, the team from Poland pulled a rather exciting and delicate flight maneuver to get through a small slit of open airspace to extend their flight by another couple of 100 kilometers.
That was kind of the boundary the year before that a number of the gas balloons had to land because they could not thread that needle.
Well, it was right
Poland
between
did.
Belarus and I forget what the other country was, but there was just a little slit of open free airspace they could scoot through. And the Polish team made a brilliant flight maneuver to get through that space and then extend their flight by another couple of 100 kilometers and take home the victory.
Early days of the America's Challenge race here, and that's where I think Ruth was alluding to the fact that they are now reporting altitude. In the early days, the very first couple of years, I was actually the media spokesperson for America's Challenge here. And not only did we not have that electronic tracking to be able to put out to the public, we delayed the reports that we did have by 3 or 4 hours, and no time did we ever report the altitude because that was considered the top secret piece. If you knew that they were moving this fast in this direction, and if you told everybody that was at 15,000 feet or whatever it was, then you had people do that. And there was a lot of fear that there would be a lot of copying of those strategies, but it's good to see that go away and just let them get out there and do that.
Yeah.
It really makes for a more exciting race from a spectator. We don't see the balloons in the sky. We only watch the
we watch the live tracking
on
the screen and place ourselves virtually up in those balloons. But you're right that I can recall when it was very secretive as to the amount of information they would reveal during the course of the flight. Because again, if you know what your competitor is doing and what his strategy is, then you can counter-strategize or copy their strategy and hope to do it better and have a competitive advantage. And certainly we don't want to ever provide that in any type of competition.
Well, and there is still a little bit of that because, and we've seen this in America's Challenge as well as the Gordon Bennett, as we get to the end of the race, and they're kind of neck and neck with the distance because it is a distance race.
Right.
So do I fly another hour hoping the other team lands? Do I have to fly through the night?
Stretch our ballast and maybe go a little beyond our normal safety cushion or safety margin?
How do we manage all of that?
Yeah.
And then once you know you're the last one flying and you've got the distance, then you can just pick a nice spot to land because you will have won. That really came into play last year at America's Challenge race here. The last 3 or 4 balloons up is kind of like, oh, they're still flying. They're here. I've got to fly a little longer.
Yeah.
Oh, now I've got to fly a little longer. Now I've got to fly back and forth until we ended up when there was no more land to land on. They were definitely as far as they could go, running out of land up in Newfoundland, Labrador. Incredible flights last year from America's Challenge.
Those long-distance gas flights are just amazing, and it is fun, particularly as a balloonist, to watch the strategy evolve during the course of the flight. And then, like you say, particularly in the last day of flight, if you've got a couple of teams or three that are really kind of neck and neck, to watch them strategize and try to figure out how far can we go, and how far we can go and how much longer can we fly and still land safely. So it's quite it can be quite a fun thing to do, to watch and try to put yourselves in the balloon and figure out what your own strategy might be if you were flying it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, so my friend Cindy Everest is watching from Placitas. She says she can see the balloons from Placitas.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if she's talking about the Rainbow Rider ones or seeing some of this. Chloe's asking if the special shape Glowdeo is going on. Yes, Chloe, it is. We're not to the glow part yet, but we're about to get there as the sun goes down in a few minutes.
We're getting all the shapes inflated, and hopefully if Chloe's not at a different computer watching something else. But
there you go.
Yeah, Chloe, if you look to the live feed, you'll see that it is online. We were just talking about doing some pin trading, which we did with Tim Cloyd as he was here. And I think Ruth has apparently found a rather avid pin collector down on the field tonight. So, Ruth, take it away.
Oh my goodness, I'm down here with Peyton Cusick, and he has an amazing vest full of pins. Peyton, how long did it take you to collect all those pins?
I don't know, but it took a while.
Turn around and show us the pins on the back, too.
Wow.
Okay, turn back around here, Peyton. And you're with a balloon crew this week, right?
Yes.
And tell us about the balloon crew that you're with.
I am with my parents, which are out here, and we have someone who has their first time out here.
Well, that's terrific. Is this your first time out here, too?
No.
How many times have you been out here?
2.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're very happy to see you, Peyton. Thank you for coming by to talk with us today.
Hey,
You're welcome.
Hey, Ruth, did you
Hang
make
on
sure
a
that Peyton gets a Balloon Fiesta live pin? And if you want to send him this way, we can get him an announcer pin or two.
Okay, that sounds good. I will speak with you in a minute, Peyton, okay?
Okay.
Good deal. Thanks, Ruth. Thanks, Peyton. Good to see all those pins in there. So I believe Kim Vesley has found a couple of spectators here to check out the Glowdeo as well. Kim.
I saw these hats, and I just had to talk to them.
Oh, you bet. I love those hats.
Aren't those great? Okay, why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm Roxanne.
Hi, I'm Sydney.
And you guys are from where?
Mars.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
They, on the tower, they said Mars. That's where they're from. Okay, what school do you go to?
El Dorado.
El Dorado.
El Dorado, alma mater of my son, who's a pilot here. I just gotta ask about the hats. What drew you to those hats?
This game called Splatoon 2.
We are a really big fan of it, and we saw them, and we had to get them.
Yes.
It's your very first Balloon Fiesta ever?
Yeah, it's my very first.
So what do you think?
It's crowded. I'm not a big fan of it.
Yeah, and you've been before, right?
Yeah, I've been here many times.
Do you have a favorite special shape?
I guess I'd have to either go with the penguins, or if I want to go old, probably the haunted house.
Oh, that's
the haunted house.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That's a throwback.
I remember that now. Sure. Well, we sat here and watched them inflate Pegasus, who's back here behind us, and I'm going to let these ladies go because there's a lot to see out here. We got balloons all around and happy people, and it's just great out here. So, hope you're having as much fun as we are.
Thanks, Kim. So we have most of our special shapes, it looks like, at least from what I can see, standing up now. We've mentioned a number of them. Just coming out of the screen we have there, our Snowbird, there's Buzzy Bee, there's the back end of the Stork, formerly known as Great Expectations.
Yep.
I see Coco in the center there. There's Annie, the ladybug in there, and the planes. Here comes one of the bees standing up. The orange back there would be Beagle Maximus. The black arms coming out of the yellow and blue balloon, that would be Lindy. And I see the ex-con and the stripes and the, what do they call those numbers? Prison numbers that you have there?
Yeah, prison numbers.
That's probably his registration number there, but always have those. Then there's the black one with the barbed wire. That would be the POW MIA balloon. There's, yep, and we keep moving around. I see the infamous foot, the shoe in the background there, the green.
Yeah, and the story behind that is at one time it was the famous footwear shoe, and you probably know the name brand Famous Footwear, but once the corporate sponsorship went away, rather than have to take all that art off of the balloon, they just added a little art to it to make it the infamous foot, and the balloon, of course, still flying. Don't let our young visitor get away, because I just sent down to my truck to get some of my pins brought up, so I'll have one for him in just a moment. Yeah, I've got a blue one coming up for him, so don't let him leave just yet. In fact, here they are right here.
Oh, there they go. So we've got Peyton up here that we're great.
Yeah,
thank you.
We're doing some paid. Yeah, I had them down in my truck, and I think they fell out of my jacket when I got dressed to come up to the tower, but I sent our PA down to my truck to get a fresh bag. And there's one of the law enforcement officers down there that I owe a pin to, too. Where'd he go? He left. What? Kathy.
There we go.
Take that to the young man.
There's Annie, the ladybug, giving us a nice look, and kind of looking behind there. There's the back end of Spidey Pig. I also see the kind of the gray with the black there. That's 1 down, 8 to go. One of our cat balloons.
One of our cat balloons. Is Cutie Dink out tonight?
She is. She's almost straight out in front of us. Uncle Sam's in the center of the picture there. There's Bidoo. There's the
Sushi. That is the little fish balloon of Katie Griggs from Reno.
We talked about Hamlet, the pink balloon on the left side of the screen there, and the can't really call them Tom and Jerry because of copyright issues.
Right.
But there's the is that the Tom side of the?
Yeah, that's the Tom side. Tom was the cat,
right?
Jerry the mouse, and so that's the Tom side. That's the cat side.
And looks like right between Hamlet and the balloon we just talked about there, that appears to be Albert Einstein, one of the smart owls.
Of the owls. Yeah, one of the two owl
just
balloons.
Kind of seeing the side of that one. We're just kind of picking it out of the middle there.
The one that you saw right there in front of Bidoo the blue dog and Sushi that had the musical notes around the bottom, that is the balloon Saxon. There it is, just in the lower right corner of the screen, which is the flying saxophone balloon. There you see the musical staff around the bottom of the balloon as it stands up. It's a saxophone that kind of has a person trapped inside it, I think.
Yep. And there's Kermie.
And we have Cymbaloo, the lion here from Longleat. This is our other lion. We have lots of twos of lots of things here this year, don't we?
We do.
We have at least we have 3 dogs. We went through this before. I should make notes. We have 2 lions. We have 3 penguins, 4 penguins.
There's Pirate Jack on the left side of the screen there.
So,
and I see
Pirate Jack needs to be down with a Pegleg Pete. So we'd have a pirate and his pirate and his parrot. Whew, almost blew that.
There's Humpty Dumpty.
And Coco the Clown just right beside Humpty.
And I believe I'm not sure. I think the gray one that's in there, that would probably be the 1 down, 8 to go. And I'm wondering if the black one with the little gray circles on there might be Cynthia Seal.
Might be. There's the bottom of Chickaboom.
And Buzzy B.
And is that Buzzy B?
I think that's
right
Buzzy.
There?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, that's something else. You have to pull out a little bit further for us to see. It is Chickaboom. There's Humpty. And what is this? We're pulling out the camera. What is that we're going to see?
The ladybug.
Oh, that's the ladybug.
Yep,
okay.
That's the ladybug.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, and I see the emoji off to the right is just in there.
Hi,
Looks like we're going to have a great shot of Hamlet tonight. Oh, he's far enough out to the west here.
Yeah.
Oh, how's that for serendipity? One of the
Once
Hamlet
again,
crew
our
members.
crack crew has arranged. We have her. Who is she with, Ruth or
Looks
with
like
Kim?
she's setting up with Ruth right down here.
With Ruth. Okay, very good. So let's go down to Ruth and find out a little bit about Hamlet.
Hey, you guys, I'm down here with Jana Redding, and she is one of Hamlet's piglets.
Yes, I am, for about 17 years now.
What's it like being with a crew that is this awesome?
It's amazing. We have so much fun. Doug is an amazing pilot. The crew just comes together like family, and we have a wonderful time.
What are some of the reactions you get from people to a giant flying pig?
most of them just kind of look at us and go, huh? But then once they see it, they realize how pretty that pig is when it's in the air.
It is a beautiful balloon. Please tell me no one tries to make bacon out of you.
No, we haven't had that happen yet.
Okay, that's terrific.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much for coming out and talking with us, Jana.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Tell her to tell Doug that he needs to come see us.
Yeah, we usually get to talk to Doug. We haven't seen him yet. There is Tall Steve and one of his parents. That would be Splash, the little girl. And somewhere out there is Puddles. I see Wes the Wolf in that shot. All of those balloons come from Longleat from the Sky Safari over in merry old England. Andrew Holly and his company, Exclusive Ballooning, bringing those balloons to us. There is Beagle Maximus. And thank goodness we're seeing the Beagle in and not the Maximus in that we normally get to see.
I did see Bila in there, still laying on his back, not quite hot inflated yet from Doug Grimes.
Polar
the little bear.
Yep, from Doug Grimes.
Saw that in the previous shot.
There's that's our bulldog right there behind Lindy, isn't it? I think.
Yes, I think it
kind
is.
Of beige and brown. I think that was the bulldog.
There's
Arabelle. Arabelle, the Creamland Dairy Cow. Scotty Appleman, rather, telling us this morning that's still one of his favorite balloons. And I like the observation he made because it's the perfect special shape caricature that has the fun and excitement of special shapes that delivers a commercial message. It is sponsored, of course,
it all
by
ties
Creamland.
together just perfectly.
It's a wonderful tying together of providing a corporate message and a selling message with a great fun character.
Yes.
And Arabelle, for years and years and years, I don't know if we still do it or not, but we used to have, you could vote on site if you were
we
here.
haven't done that in a few
years. And you
years.
could vote for your special shape. And Arabelle was always among the top 3, if not number 1. Always a fan favorite here.
And continues to be if we were to do those contests again.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. Though certainly she has more competition now than perhaps back in the day, because there is such a much larger variety of special shaped balloons now than we had, say, 10 years ago.
But when we get pictures from the sky and we look at where the crowds are, they are definitely gathered around Arabelle. They're gathered around the center stage, the Wells Fargo Stagecoach.
And around the bees.
And around the bees.
Attract a big crowd.
People are always looking to get around those. The crowd is building well out there, and
yes,
I would just encourage you to walk out in amongst the balloons. There's no better place to be for a balloon glow than right smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah. And now's a good time to remind folks, those of you on site, those of you that are watching, you can do this if you wish, but you might scare some of your neighbors. But when we get down to ready for the glow, and Art and I will be leading the countdowns to our all burns and flicker burns. And when we do that, we really, really need the crowd down on the field to join us.
Yes, we do.
And make a lot of noise. Be really in good voice tonight because the pilots can't always hear the PA system, especially when there's such a huge crowd going on. It gets very noisy down there. So when we start these countdowns, we do need the spectators, and I know we'll have launch directors on the radio who will be helping to spread the word, but to help us with those countdowns so we can really get all these balloons glowing together once we're ready to do that tonight. And it won't be much longer. It's getting nice and twilighty, is that a word?
Well, we officially passed sunset about 4 minutes ago.
Well, I just turned, I'm looking over my left shoulder out to the mesa, and there's a beautiful sunset in progress. The sun is down below the horizon, but look at that bright orange in the sky there. So another beautiful sunset this evening.
A land of enchantment sunset.
I think, is that Bila that's inflating there?
That is Beambo. You see the Rise and
Beambo.
Beambo.
Okay.
Yeah, you see the Rise and Shine chase vehicle there.
Oh, I do now. I first just saw white, and so I thought maybe it was Bila, the little polar bear balloon.
Osita Beambo.
Yep.
The little bear. Beambo, a great, fairly new sponsor for us, about 3 years now.
About 3 years, 3 or 4 years now they've been with us, yeah.
Great to have them along. I did see one of the other new special shapes out there beyond Hamlet, offyourrocker.com.
Oh, yeah, I can just see it now.
You see him on the outside there?
On the far west side of the field, northwest corner there. And also out there in front of Hamlet is Lady Jester. We've been chatting online with its original owners, Martha and Carson Lane out of Louisiana.
There's the shot of Off the Rocker. And what flavor crazy do you want? So tonight we can see the maniacal
maniacal something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And
those
the
are,
lemon one on the left side there.
Yeah, and that's kind of a rocky road sort of theme it's got going around the balloon with little marshmallows poking out of the chocolate. There's Tall Steve. There's kind of the, this must be Critter Row down there.
And
see the frog, the lion. There is Tom the cat out there. Now, what's that thing with the goggles on its head?
That is
new?
a new special shape, and it is Rocket, the flying squirrel.
Squirrel.
If you were to take a good look at the front, you might think that was Rocky, the flying squirrel.
Well, just like you might think that's Tom and Jerry. And
there you
I
go.
don't know that we have Yellowbird here. That's also quite obviously Tweety.
Yes.
And
you can see the not only the goggles, but the earphones
yeah, the
there.
earphones, the radio earphones.
Because he has that flying helmet on there is what that blue is.
Yeah. Cool.
Couple
Squirrel.
of nice big white buck teeth coming out of the yellow mouth there. There's just dropping right down into the shot there. And another one still getting inflated there.
Yeah, and of course this is a view we would not normally be able to see from the tower here, because that's down on the north end of the field, and it's thanks to our great camera work and our incredible production team that we're able to get these views and really share with you that much more of what's going on at in our Shapes Rodeo Glowdeo tonight, because generally now that the balloons are all standing, we can only see a couple of rows deep from the tower, and then of course the balloons that are kind of out onto the western edge of the formation. There's the back end of Spidey Pig we're looking at.
Talk about setting up for a show. Rebecca's got her popcorn, sitting back watching the show online.
Outstanding. I see that. Rebecca Webb got my popcorn.
Yep.
Wish I had some popcorn. That sounds good right now, Rebecca.
And Kevin Stevenson's checked in. Hi, Kevin. I know you were here earlier in the week. Sorry I didn't get a chance to see you while you were here.
One of my, I've talked a couple of times about the great family that crewed for me when I flew in the Natchez event. Betsy Sawyer checked in earlier. I saw her say hello. She's watching this evening. Well, she comes out a lot of times and crews with Pat Harwell, but not out here with us this year. We miss you, Betsy. Let's see. People are making plans to go. There's
Hi, Mackenzie.
Sheila saying, talking to a friend of hers, saying, let's you and I go together next year. So absolutely, come on out and join us next year.
Next year and the year after and the year after that.
Which will be the 50th. That's the time to certainly be here. 2021. We're all targeting toward that. Let's see. If
plans already underway to make that just the biggest and best ever. Maybe, as far as, and bringing back, there's been a lot of talk about bringing back some of the old events that have happened over the years. So we'll see how many of those actually make it through the planning process.
Tell me we're not bringing back the toga party.
What? And the parade and the Fiesta Queen and the tumbleweed drop.
Yeah, all of that fun stuff.
All of that great stuff.
Yeah, it'd be great to do some of that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the toga party. That toga party got a little bit wild.
It did.
In its final years. Though I will say, I was at the toga party, one of the last ones that I went to, and at the bar and found a $100 bill on the ground, and so I wasn't crazy enough to stand up and say, "Hey, anybody drop this?"
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
So that toga party was a pretty good one actually, but other than that, it just used to get a little crazy.
I attended a few of those toga parties myself. We won't talk about being in the newspaper about it.
Kevin Stevenson, toga.
Kevin was around for those toga parties. He remembers.
He knows what we're talking about.
He knows exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. And there was really nothing bad about me being in the paper. They just caught me in a nice dance pose.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
you were rocking your style, were you?
Oh, I was. Well, I was about 25 then. And
we were all invincible when we were young.
Yes, we certainly were. And the old toga parties. I have not heard that one come back around as.
I'm not sure. That might be one that just should remain in the archives and as fond memories.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it might. So, what's the game plan? Are we ready?
So it's getting nice and dark. The sun. There's still just a little. Actually, just kind of a nice little thread of light over on the far west horizon, looking out toward the mesa from our viewpoint here. But the sun obviously well set now. A little bit of cloud cover. Light high cloud has moved over us tonight to kind of make it even darker this evening. And as we've commented before, and will again, it is not, there you see, still a little light out on the western mesa. But trust me, as I was about to say, ladies and gentlemen, it is not as bright as you see on your screens if you're watching the live feed. It's dark out here, and the color over on the mesa there is much deeper, darker blue and brighter orange than what you're seeing there. Much more saturated, but that's a great shot. Panning across the western mesa and down to the far northwest corner of Balloon Fiesta Park. There we are. There's Tall Steve and Splash and this is the Hunter Boot, I believe.
There we go.
They're
Yeah,
inflating. Yeah, the brand new Hunter Boot that is making its debut here this weekend. And when it stands up, we'll see it because it stands taller than I think anything else on the field here.
pretty much so. So we're just about ready to get started here. We've have our officials here finishing down the last of their ice cream.
Shannon wrote asking if the polar bear and the dragon are still around. Not to my knowledge.
Not here.
They're not. They're certainly not here tonight. And you're right. It would be nice maybe to have them back for the 50th. I'm not sure if the polar bear is still flying.
I haven't seen it in a few years.
And it depends on which of the dragons she's talking about. There is the green one from long ago, and then
Augie the dragon is a fairly recent one.
Right, and then there was
here, I think, last year.
Was it Smurf, the purple purple?
Oh
and
yes,
pink one?
right, yeah.
Not Smurf, Smog.
Smog
From the
there's been a
Lord
number
of the
of
Rings
them.
trilogy. Yeah.
Look at the crowd out there.
But they're not here this year.
That is fabulous. Are we ready, Miss Melissa? All right.
Oh, we're ready?
So we're ready. So the
polar
idea
bear was there this morning. No, actually, Katrina, it's not. There is a new baby polar bear balloon, and it is here. We're talking about what used to be the Klondike polar bear.
Yes.
A huge
it was about as big
polar
as
bear,
Arabelle.
about the size of Arabelle the cow.
It was.
Yeah, so different polar bear that we're talking about, Katrina, but thank you for your comment.
So we're ready to get this thing started here. We're ready
to
do this Glowdeo here. So again, as Glen was telling you a few moments ago, we need to enlist everyone's support here. We're going to do an all burn. That is, all the pilots will light their burners at the same time. We're going to count it down from 10. We need you to count it down with us so that the pilots can hear the countdown and we get those burns together.
Yeah, and those of you at home are welcome to join in, but just be careful because someone might call the police for
wondering why you're counting down at home.
Disturbing the peace counting down at home, but you're welcome to join in if you're into the spirit of things.
And of course, if you're taking pictures here on the field, that would be a good time to make sure you have your camera on the ready, because when we get down to the all burn piece, you're going to want to be snapping that picture.
That's a good
So,
thought.
pilots and everyone, here we go. The first all burn of the night. This is an all burn. Count with us, please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn.
Pilots all burn. And as usual, well, there's
most of them got it.
Some of them are getting it, yeah.
Well, I still hear a fan going down there
Yeah,
as well.
I think we're still right there by the Hunter Boot.
Yep, there it is still.
Where they were inflating. And as we said earlier, the PA system just doesn't have the power to get all the way across that field when there's a huge crowd and all the noise of the balloons and the burners. And we do have launch directors usually on the radio
and
trying to help us.
But if you hear that countdown anywhere, we do need you to join in and help us with that countdown. Our drone is up, giving us a nice shot of the Glowdeo tonight. That's going to be a great shot.
Oh, yeah, look at that. That's an awesome shot.
While we have that shot, let's sneak in another all burn right away.
We'll try again.
Another all burn. Let's do it in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn.
Pilots, light them up.
There we go.
There you go. We're beginning to get the word out. I think we're getting to a point now where almost we need to go back. The early days, they gave each of the pilots a transistor radio. And it was one of the local radio stations that actually did the calls.
KOB, who's been with us since the very first one.
So I'm thinking we're almost coming back to that because it's so difficult for the PA to reach across the field that we almost need to get radios into each of the balloon pilots' hands so that they can, if we really want to get the all
A couple
birds
of years
going.
ago, Balloon Fiesta provided radios to all the balloons.
That's true.
And that radio, we're talking on that radio to them now, but it also has an FM channel So we are talking about how to get the FM out to the pilots on that radio. And then they don't have to have one more radio there. You just have the one that can be for communication purposes.
Diane Carlson, our good friend at Plano Pin Company, came up with a comment the other day. Said, you know what they really should do is get some Bluetooth speakers and mount them in the white pylons that mark the pilot launch squares.
The squares.
Yeah, and if you put one in each of those, then you would have Wi-Fi. A Wi-Fi PA system.
And we actually have talked about that, and that's under investigation as well.
Okay.
To move forward with that. So great idea, Diane.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike. A number of the Balloon Fiesta officials are talking and looking into the feasibility of that.
That would be cool.
There's a great shot of the burner putting heat into the Hunter boot.
And again, those of you at home, it is not that light. I mean, that looks like it's daylight out there, and it's not. It's dark tonight. So
it is.
It's
but our production
there's
crew
a better sense of, to a certain extent, of how dark it is when you see the wonderful shot from the drone there from Colibri Cam.
I think we're ready for another all burn.
Well, all right, let's try another.
She wants to do a twinkle.
Well,
let's do an all burn.
Let's do an all burn.
We'll do an all burn. We'll get your twinkle.
Yeah, let's do an all burn.
2-1, you're about voted, Melissa.
That's it. Hey,
all burn.
It's our show. We're in charge. Step away from the radio, lady.
And all burn. Again, we need everyone to help us count with us, please. All burn. Here we go.
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn.
Light them up, pilots. Yeah, a little delayed action there, but there we go.
Some of that is the feed from the drone by the time that gets through to us.
Yes, yeah,
there
of course.
There's a second or two delay in that
And there's
feed.
looking right up the Hunter boot. Look at that.
Oh, what a great shot.
Way up to the top there. One of the several brand new special shapes are here. Ed Chapman is the pilot, the gentleman you see pulling the lines clear there. So well done, Ed. Nice to have you here from Hunter Boots.
And with that shot of the crowd, you can see how the crowd lights up.
Yeah, it is. What was that one young lady said, that it was crowded? She wasn't a big fan of that. This is not the place to be if you don't like being in a big crowd. That's for sure. Yep, so before we try that twinkle burn, Ruth has a guest out on the field. Let's go back down to Ruth real quickly. Ruth.
Thanks, Glenn. I'm down here with Brad T. Moyer, our chief meteorologist, and Rob Weiss, also a weather official. Oh my gosh, Brad, you're a rock star. Thank you.
We do what we can once in a while, right?
Yeah, so what happened to bring us this perfect night?
Well, basically, the tropical system that's going to be working in hasn't made it far enough to the north yet that it's really not impacting us too much. So actually, we had a few balloons fly this afternoon. Other than we've just gotten a few clouds, higher clouds that basically shut off the thermals, or limited them anyway, enough to the point where they were able to fly late this afternoon, and it's perfect for the glow.
It is definitely perfect for the glow. Are we going to be looking at the same thing tomorrow morning, Rob?
I sure hope so. We'll find out first thing in the morning.
What are you thinking, Brad?
That's a politically correct
it looks
answer.
Like for the most part, yeah, we're gonna have decent weather. It is gonna be rainy down to our south, though, so we're gonna have to watch the impacts of that. But I think overall here we should mainly stay dry and looking at fairly light winds. So it looks like another potential good flight again tomorrow morning.
Well, you're on a roll, so keep it up. Back upstairs to you guys.
Thanks, Ruth. And thanks to Brad and Robert and Rob Wise for that. I love Rob's answer. That was very politically correct.
That's
we'll see know in the morning.
Well, and they start looking about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
They do.
So they're here early, and
we're joking, but he's absolutely right. We
won't know till the morning.
We won't know till tomorrow morning what the weather's doing.
So I think Melissa would like
to do a twinkle. I was going to say, should we give in to
Twinkle
Melissa
glow
real
or a
quickly?
flicker burn here? Now, this is a great time for those of you on the field here to set your cameras to the video mode.
Yes.
So this is a perfect time to put those cameras in video mode, because the burners are going to go on and off in fairly rapid sequence.
The idea is to make the balloons twinkle just like you're watching a flicker, like you're watching a flickering flame atop a candle.
So a twinkle or flicker glow, please.
Say that again.
Flicker glow. You didn't think I could do that twice in a row, did you?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You're good, guy. You're good.
Hey,
all
flicker,
right.
twinkle glow for us. Let's count it down. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, flicker!
Flicker, twinkle, whatever. Look at that shot. That drone shot is just awesome. And this is the first time we've ever had a drone working with us here at Balloon Fiesta. It is authorized, the only drone authorized by Fiesta. If you're flying a drone and you're within 4 miles of Balloon Fiesta Park, you're actually flying illegally. And we do have software that can track you. And as we heard, they did a test the other day with, I think it was Ty, who was flying his own personal drone for the test. And he noted this morning that the FBI and the FAA showed up
about 5.5 minutes.
About 5.5 minutes. They tracked him, found him, and went after him.
I also was reading in the paper this morning that they have actually tracked down more than 500 drones within our 4-mile. It's a 4-mile radius of the field here. Is that TFR?
So that's if you're flying in a drone in that area, you're not supposed to be. You're flying illegally, and they will catch you. Hey, speaking of the Hunter boot, our friend Ed Chapman is the pilot there, and I understand that Kim has pulled him aside, or maybe she's gone out to the balloon to get a quick interview. So, Kim, take it away.
Yes, we have Ed Chapman here from where in Britain?
Originally Southampton in Hampshire.
And we are sitting here underneath one big balloon.
Don't
here
get stepped on.
with the boot. This is the first time the boot's been here, right?
Yeah, it's correct. It's new this year. So the boot is the flying boot designed by Hunter, which is from Scotland, and we're kind of on a world tour at the moment. We've been all over Europe, and now we're in the States.
And has anybody measured what size this is?
Well, I don't actually know what size it is compared to like a US size, but it's 120 foot tall and it's about 90 foot wide.
And how many cubic feet?
It's a 105.
Okay, so it's actually not that much bigger to fly than a regular sized balloon then.
No, what you find is because of the shape there's a lot of dead weight, so it weighs about 650 pounds. So it's about 3 times the weight of a normal 105, so a lot of it you're flying is just dead weight.
So what is this like to fly compared to, say, a normal round balloon?
This one, because the foot sticks out, as soon as you go into wind layer, it likes to spin a lot. So when you see us flying the last couple of days, you notice actually when you go into a different wind layer, it likes to rotate very quickly.
When we're doing an event like this with a glow, what are you watching for and what are you doing as a pilot?
I'm watching for the crowd. We're in M1 here and there's lots of people, so we're actually just watching people and watching they're safe.
Yeah, there are a ton of people out there, and they've been counting down those burns, and we're having a great time out here.
So let's stay with thanks, Kim. Yes, let's stay with Kim's camera as we do an all burn here.
Well, okay,
so get a view of right there by it.
But just before you do that, I wanted to say I knew when the boot first came out, they did some beautiful photo ops. They did a great photo op of the balloon flying over the Firth of Forth, which is a body of water that flows through the city of Edinburgh. I didn't realize Hunter is a product of Scotland, so I'm even more impressed with the boot now.
Well, there you go.
And I have my Scotland cap on tonight. So, Ed, I'm flying your colors for you this evening, buddy. I've got my Saltire on this evening. Didn't realize that we had that connection with Hunter boot being out of Scotland. So there you go.
So let's do an all burn here. We're going to see if we can give you a shot of what it looks like right there from a balloon. An all burn, pilots, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all burn.
Now the word's getting out. Look at that. Looks good even from our vantage point.
Yeah.
And Ed was having to put a lot of heat in that boot. I can tell you from flying the Financial Times, which is, again,
I'm sure you know
a nice, tall cylindrical shape. It takes time for the heat to get to the top of the balloon and create lift. And so having not burned all during that interview with Kim.
Right.
So he was burning and leading right up to the all burn there, getting some heat back in the balloon, which he has to do as a pilot.
So we should point out to the folks who have been are online and folks who are here, we've actually moved the entire schedule up 15 minutes. So we had Fast Track jump 15 minutes early.
That's right. They interrupted
obviously
dinner.
on schedule here, they just didn't tell us. So we're moving up the laser light show, and the jump of Fast Track will be at 7:45 tonight instead of 8 o'clock, so that we get the fireworks underway by 8 o'clock. So we're just kind of moving everything up a little bit earlier.
Okay.
And, of course, we're smack dab in the middle of our Glowdeo right now.
And I'm not going to complain because that means we'll get to bed about 15 minutes earlier tonight, and we have another Dark 30 wake up tomorrow morning
We
because
do.
we go back to the weekend plans, which starts with the Dawn Patrol show, and we'll
At
be live
6 o'clock Mountain
at
Time.
about 6 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, so
followed by a mass ascension about 6:45.
Right. So we'll be up a little and online a little bit earlier than normal, beginning tomorrow and Sunday morning. So that's good.
How about another twinkle burn, flicker burn? Twinkle flicker burn, please. Get your video cameras ready. Glenn, you got yours ready there?
Yeah, I'm just getting things set here so
Okay.
I can see what kind of video I can capture. So when you're ready, let's go.
All right, flicker burn, please, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, flicker! Yeah.
I've got a great
Nice
shot on video right here where you can see the monitor in my shot as well as the balloons actually out on the field.
Excellent. Excellent. Great camera work by Windfire Production folks, not only on the camera angles and shots, but keeping the color of the cameras shaded. That's the technical term there, so that we get nice and nice, great views. As you said, it's really dark out here. When they're not burning, we can't actually see the balloons from our stage. We're watching them on the monitor, just like those of you on the feed might be watching us.
That's right. Oh, there's the spider.
Itsy bitsy. Yep.
Spider.
Preventive pest control. Don Moyer with the big black widow on the side of that balloon. New special shape last year for us.
I forgot.
And you know, the other thing that is going on here is the balloons are lighting up because they are putting yellow flame into the
Yeah, we really
envelopes.
haven't talked about the difference in the burner. Most of the pilots here have burners that will burn the propane in one of two ways. One is when we normally fly, we burn the propane as a vaporized gas.
Yes.
And it gives us a very powerful but thin blue pencil-like flame.
Yes.
And that's the balloon, the flame that we use mostly when we're flying. But for glows, most of the pilots have a burner that will allow them to burn the propane as just a raw liquid.
Right.
And that produces a very ugly, ragged, yellow, but very bright flame as opposed to on the main blast valve. And so that's what we're using to light the balloons with. Most of the pilots burning the propane as just a pure liquid, creating that bright yellow flame that helps to light the balloons up so well.
Just like with your barbecue grill, you don't really want the yellow flame when you're cooking because blue is the efficient,
right?
Which is why we fly it that way. But for lighting it up, we want the inefficient use of the propane. So before we head out for another burn, Ruth has got some folks to talk to. Ruth, quickly.
Hey, I'm down here with Hunter and Tanner Schmitz.
Hello.
Which one are you?
I'm Hunter.
You're a Hunter.
I am Tanner.
And Tanner and Hunter are identical twins, and thankfully this year they have different haircuts so we can tell them apart. It's not always easy. And their dad, John, is flying. Tell us about your balloon, John.
I fly the City and County of Denver balloon. A lot of people like to call it the Colorado balloon.
Well, we have another Colorado balloon out here too, don't we?
We do.
Well, that's terrific. Now, Hunter and Tanner, how old were you when you took your very first balloon ride?
3 years old. 3 years old.
Oh, my goodness. And how many times have you flown since then, do you think?
About 20 times, I think. For me, 5.
How did that happen?
Mom always liked him best.
Well, me and Tanner don't like to go together because we fight like 24/7. And then when I first got introduced to it, I just loved how the balloon just flickered up in the fire.
Okay, so you think that maybe one of these days you're going to be getting your license, right?
I don't know.
I bet you are. And you are doing a whole lot of good stuff with martial arts. Tell us about that a little bit.
So I'm a black belt in martial arts in probably one of the hardest martial arts schools in Colorado.
And tell us about that. Which martial art are you practicing?
I do American Taekwondo from South Korean.
Wow, that is so impressive. So, Hunter, I think you're going to have to come up with something like maybe learning how to fly a balloon. What do you say?
I don't know. I do guitar. It may catch up with him.
Oh, guitar. Well, that's terrific. You guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Go enjoy the glow, and we'll catch up with you later on. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Ruth. And hey, Hunter, I play bass, so we need to get together and do a little jam, friend. That would be fun right here at Balloon Fiesta Park.
So let's get ourselves an all burn in place here. In all burn, pilots, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all burn. All right, we can hear the crowd up here. You know, that's a pretty good shot here of our monitor with the balloons in the background.
I was going to say, I'll post my video on my Twitter feed here shortly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the camera angled down low enough that I could see the monitor and at the same time see the balloons up over the railing in front of us.
Over the rail there, right?
The camera,
with the light,
so you could actually see the balloons on the monitor as well as on the field. Kind of cool. Love the frog, says Gwen Thornton.
All right. We love them all. It's like, you know, there's no such thing as an ugly balloon. Some may be a little prettier than others, but there's no such thing as an ugly balloon.
Kyla Reinecke says that peg leg Pete balloon looks pretty spectacular. I would agree, but I think, Kyla, maybe you're a little bit biased because I happen to know that, and that's Dave and Kathy Reinecke's balloon.
Yeah.
So I'm just guessing there might be a little bit of a relationship there.
A little bit there.
But you're right, Kyla. It is a pretty spectacular
It's still,
balloon.
yes, it is.
And there's Peg Leg Pete right there on the monitor, just as we're talking about him. The pirate
Those
parrot
those
or the
camera
parrot
shots
pirate?
really look good. I mean, we cannot see that
No,
with our naked eyes. You've said that over. We've said it over and over.
Even more so now that it's really dark because we've got two stage lights shining right in our eyes, and I can't hardly see anything out
But
there.
even when you block out the stage lights, you can't. We can't see them. I can barely see
I can
the
just
stork
see a little
in front
bit
of us.
Stork,
yeah,
and I can see Peg Leg because he's glowing. But other than that, we really can't see much down there. So we're relying on the monitor shots, just like there's Peg Leg glowing nicely, and Blue Chair Bay. The rum balloon that was the sponsor of the recent Kenny Chesney concert. Blow Kehoe is on board as the pilot there. And you can see bits of the crowd. Obviously, folks having a great time wandering around down there amongst the balloons.
Brad Tiemeyer, our weather guy, is requesting a flicker burn.
Well,
so we're taking requests here. And because since he gave us good weather tonight.
Because he gets it right once this where are you? Because you get it right once this week, now you want favors?
He's got it right, so we're going to oblige Brad and give you guys a flicker burn.
All right, let's
flicker
do a
burn,
flicker
pilots.
Now.
Flicker.
In twin.
In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flicker.
Flicker burns. Hey, Brad left again. The guy gets around in a hurry.
He's just bouncing around.
Oh, I was going to say, he's taking a
he
picture,
got up
but
close.
You ought to come see the shot off the drone here. It's awesome. Take a look at this real quick. See the drone picture? Isn't that incredible? I think we ought to give the pilots just a couple of minutes to cool down. Let's do another one of those so Brad can watch it here on the monitor, because the monitor is really, really capturing it. If we go back to the drone shot when we do that.
Sure.
So we'll pass that word down to the truck. So
and of course, we are spacing these out because they put all that heat in there. The balloon wants to fly. The balloon needs to cool off.
So the balloon needs to
as
cool.
do the burners.
And they can vent and get rid of the heat if we call two burns back to back, sort of. But it's easier.
But we don't want to do that to them over and over
easier.
again.
No, it's easier if we just give them a few minutes between the burns to let the balloons cool naturally, rather than forcing them to vent very hard for quite a long time.
Well, the fabric itself has a maximum temperature that it cannot exceed before it starts deteriorating as well. Depending on the fabric, it may be 250 degrees or 300 degrees.
But
we don't want to go there because it shortens the life of the balloon.
With a glow, you don't really put that much heat into the balloon anyway.
Well, you can. You can if you do too many and you burn too long.
I suppose, but I don't generally. I never had a problem with that.
Well, the other thing is you'll get light. You'll get light.
You do get light. Yeah. In fact, we heard
Kim
over
telling,
the open mic, Kim telling Ed Chapman there in the booth says, "You are light, you know," because he did have to
put so
a bunch
much
of
heat in there, yeah.
into it. Oh,
It's
they've
just-
killed the lights that were shining in our eyes. Our
Yeah.
production team, man, they just pick up on everything, don't they?
They do.
That's awesome. Now
We
we
can actually kinda
we
see
can actually
some,
get some
yeah.
pretty good shots from up here now.
There we go.
So that's cool.
So we're going to do another flicker burn here, Chuck. A flicker burn. Brad, you ready? He's ready
Brad?
now.
Oh, wait.
Flicker burn,
Wait,
please.
Wait.
Oh, Glenn's not ready.
Well, I'm waiting on the cameraman to get out in front of the camera.
Oh, there we go.
There he goes.
And get back to his camera.
Get back to your post.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody ready?
Now we're ready.
Glenn, Brad, Bobby, Mike, Chuck, Steve, Kathy, everybody up here's ready. Here we go. Flicker burn.
In
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flicker.
There's the drone shot on the feed.
And as they catch up with the flicker,
you can see them flickering there.
Pencil boy
And then we can
flickering
zoom
very
right
nicely
down
out there.
here, and there they are on the monitor.
What a fabulous night this has turned out to be.
What
Good
an
job,
awesome
Brad.
night. So are you happy? Have we taken care of you now, buddy? Okay. All right. We want to keep you happy. What an awesome night. It really is.
It is.
And
This
we
is the
still
way
have
most of our balloon glow
We still
nights
have
are.
a really incredible show from Team Fast Tracks to come. Folks
Oh,
don't
yes.
know how great that's going to
7:45. If you were planning to tune in at 8 o'clock, tune in at 7:45. Which is what, about a half an hour away?
be. Yeah, that's still a half hour away. Wow.
Remind those of you out there on the field, be sure and wander around, get up close with your other favorite balloons out there. Don't forget to ask them for a trading card. Collect all those trading cards. Many times the crew will have the trading cards while the pilot is busy doing the balloon glow or the Glowdeo tonight. But someone out there has those cards. Be sure and collect those. And if you get by one of our Balloon Fiesta Live camera installations, there should be some Balloon Fiesta Live trading cards out there as well. Oh, high hopes.
Do you have any of ours? I don't have any up here with me.
You know what? I gave my stack to the. They have them down at the truck.
They have some
We'll
at
get
the
them.
truck.
Balloon Fiesta Live cards.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some in the green room there. We'll get for you there, Brad.
Okay.
How about an Allburn?
Maybe Bobby has some right here in her bag.
She's going to get some for you there.
Okay.
How about an Allburn?
Okay.
Let's do an Allburn. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allburn.
There's that amazing drone shot again for those of you online. Look at that.
And an amazing shot from being in the middle. And I can hear the cheer of the crowd.
Yeah, I could see on the drone feed, there, I could see Beambo down on the end there, and I saw our rocket squirrel.
Squirrel.
And there he is. There's his teeth, as a matter of fact, right there in the shot.
And just a little hint of light in the sky over there, but it looks really gorgeous on our camera feed.
It really does look gorgeous on the camera feed.
There's another crew member hopping on the basket as that balloon gets a little light as well.
And that's Ed Chapman again there in the Hunter boot. So, yeah, getting a little weight on to help hold the balloon down onto the ground. There's Maximus, Beagle Maximus, and one of the bees.
One of the bees there. That would be Lily. Red antenna and the breast cancer ribbon.
Look at that crowd. My goodness. I know the camera compresses things a bit, but still. Look
Look at that
crowd.
Look at that crowd. What a great, well, you picked a great night to come out. We are certainly glad that you are here. We're glad that you're watching us online, too.
I suspect part of the reason we have such a great crowd tonight is because people have been here earlier in the week and have been disappointed when we've had to cancel the glows for weather. So this is our first successful one this week, and I'm not surprised, therefore, we have
and it's Friday night.
And it's
the
Friday
week's
night.
over.
Absolutely.
Where school was out today for most of Albuquerque.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, I'm sure. So I'm sure there's a bit of a party going on down on the field tonight.
You betcha.
There's the behind end of Spidey Pig. And one of the bees just waving in and then out of frame a little bit behind the balloons. There's Beagle Maximus glowing, and I think that's Lindy right there. Yep, that's Lindy that the bee just
See the
hit
back
behind.
side, so we kind of see Lindy's arm hanging down the right side of the balloon.
There's
a little bit on the
there's
left.
the bee moving back into our view. And
So
I just I can't get over that drone shot.
Let's get
That's
another all burn in here.
Okay.
How about an all burn? Here we go. All burn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn. The drone shot reminds me of when we first did balloon glows and we tried to do patterns and spell out letters and numbers.
Remember we
and
tried to do
shapes.
the Olympic rings one year?
One year, yes, one Olympic year, and get that shot from the plane in the air.
Yeah, and I think maybe we could pull it off now with the drone. It didn't work terribly well that year from the plane, but it also reminds me of one of my first years here as a pilot. I participated in one of the glows, and I was right up here on the corner about A4, A5, and they always took the official photograph from up at the plane.
Yes.
And then printed an 8x10 prints that you could buy the next day here on the field.
Right.
And I have that one at home of my balloon in the balloon glow, so that's one of my Fiesta souvenirs. There's Bimbo, Osito Bimbo, and
Arabelle the cow behind her.
Arabelle.
How about another all burn?
Okay.
An all burn.
And 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All burn. We caught Chuck off guard here, so I'm
not sure the launch director's got the word.
Nope. We were about 4 when I looked over and realized he was talking to someone else as opposed to the pilots.
That's okay. We'll just chalk that one up to. I saw the emoji glowing there. Kind of all by itself for just a moment on the drone shot.
The
gentleman commenting on the live feed says Arabelle is the cream of the crop. nice wordplay there. I like that.
There you go.
Jim Drager says is saying hello, Glen, again from Louisiana. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim. Art here.
Louisiana is, of course, where where I call home and have now since about 1998, up in the little town of Keithville, Louisiana.
What would you like, Mr. Chuck?
We haven't done a flicker in a couple of tries now.
Let's do a flicker then.
We've been doing all burns.
Flicker burn, please. A flicker burn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flicker burn.
Pilots flickers. There's the squirrel on the feed.
Yeah.
And Tall Steve. There goes Tall Steve glowing.
You know, one of the first balloon glows we had here, talking about the old days, when we got to the end of the balloon glow, everyone put down at the same time. And with 300 balloons, with somewhere about 100,000 cubic feet of hot air, all being released at the same time, we created our own weather system.
Our own thermal system,
Our own thermal. All that heat going up to be replaced with the cold air from the side. It was, we just got tossed around in that. So you will see some pilots now, they'll stagger their deflations as we go through the night so that we don't create those. The things you learn when you do things for the first time.
Right. Well, and also there are, some of these shapes are more complicated than others.
Yes.
And so they take longer to pack up. So some of the more complicated shapes are usually among the first that will choose to deflate because it will take them literally longer to deflate the balloon and pack it securely.
Well, all those appendages have their own little vents, which
do.
they have to open up and then reseal before once they get the air out, reseal it so it's ready to go tomorrow morning.
So there are balloons that are dropping out one by one as we continue on this evening. But right now we're going to go down to the field where Ruth has a guest with her on the field. Ruth?
Hey, you guys, I'm with Carolyn Lilly, one of my good friends for many, many years. Carolyn flies the zoo balloon, and this morning after competition was starting to shut down, we looked up and saw Carol, and she was one of the last balloons in the sky. You had a beautiful flight today. Tell us about how it ended.
Oh, I had a fabulous flight, and I'm going straight down Paseo, and there's lots of big fields, and I'm lined up, my crew's in front of me, and I get close to him, and then off to the right. Bye, crew, sorry, could you get back in the truck and go across? And I'm tracking down a street in this very crowded little neighborhood, gorgeous homes, and all of a sudden in front of me, right as I'm about to exit the neighborhood, there's my crew. So I said, hey, drop line, come on in, come get me. And Emma Sierra, who's now in college down in Las Cruces, I see her come around the corner and she's running sideways, gets to me before I get over the house and can't drop my drop line. Drop it down, the whole crew gets me, they pull me down to the end of the street, which is my brother informs me, is called an eyebrow. Not a cul-de-sac, it's like a cul-de-sac, but it has 2 entrances with an eyebrow. Thank you, Jeff. And we set me down in there. Everybody comes out of their houses, they're up on balconies watching. Set it right down the middle of the street. It was absolutely a fantastic landing.
And that's what we love about ballooning. Magic happens here in Albuquerque at Balloon Fiesta.
Really
Carolyn, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you bet.
And Glenn, we'll go back up to you guys.
Thanks, Ruth. Hi, Carolyn. Good to see you.
Hi, Carolyn. That's the second drop line landing story
we've heard about from
today.
Yeah, so a lot of drop line activity.
Nice and calm there. So, an Auburn? An Auburn, please.
Thank you.
Auburn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Auburn.
I think our crowd of balloons is rapidly...
Well, we started seeing a little bit of thermal activity. Well, I don't know if that was from the balloons putting them down that I was thinking about.
I was going to make that comment while we had Ruth's camera online there. We had a shot where you could see some of the flags, and we were seeing a little bit of wind movement down amongst some of the balloons. I saw Tall Steve get blown almost sideways. I thought for a moment he was deflating, but then he stood back up, so I assumed that was wind. Now, the flags are not doing too bad now, but a few minutes ago, that shot, those same flags were fluttering a little more.
So we're starting to get some light gusts.
Yeah, just some light wind. But,
and of course, sitting on the ground, we are a big sail here, and so we will kind of rock back and forth.
And what happens too is, when the balloons are all up and they're all packed in there together, they're a big immovable force. But now that we have balloons deflating, and a large number of them actually now beginning to deflate, as they deflate and they are no longer a wind block to the balloons that were on the inner part of the grouping, and so as the balloons around the outer edge begin to deflate, what wind there is finds its way easier into the other balloons and has a little more
winds
impact
through
on
the balloons, and everybody gets hit with it.
Yes. So it's all a factor of I don't know what geothermal mechanics or something. That sounds good to me.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway, we did see just a little bit of wind, and again, it's in large part because so many of the balloons now are deflating. And these guys have, as we said, there's a lot more work involved in deflating and packing up a special shape than there is in just the round balloons. And so we do see them deflate much earlier, perhaps, than we might normally if we were doing just round balloons in the glow. There goes Uncle Sam and Chickaboom sitting side by side.
Cannon is standing back up again. Cannon will be up for our laser light show.
And for the fireworks.
And the fast track jump with their pyrotechnics as well. And looks like Buzzy B going down too. Does that mean we're...
I think it may mean we're
done. I think we're done with that.
See...
That looks like the last one still standing out there, other than, of course, Cannon, which we just mentioned.
Unless there's someone down at the north end, which we'll see in a moment once Buzzy B is out of our view. But I think maybe we're done whether we want to be or not.
Hey, look at all the lights from the spectators out there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe let's just have some fun.
Should we try that?
Should we try your camera?
Let's try it. I will know how far our folks are. Hey, so here's the deal, and we really, really, really need your help out there because, as we talked about, the PA doesn't always get across the field here.
Yeah.
But what we would like you to do is
get the launch directors to help us with this too.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to try and do is we're going to do a countdown from 10. And then we're going to do an all glow, but what we want you to do is turn on your phone. Either just use your the LED screen, or if you have the flashlight function, turn that on and wave it up in the air. And let's just see if we can do, we're going to try and do an all glow with the phones. Why not?
So we're going to try and get the launch directors to help us here. So yes, the idea is we'll count down. When we hit that 0, all glow, we're going to have everybody turn their lights on.
Turn your flashlight
on.
Turn
the flashlight on, open the screen up, wave it. So we're going to try and do that. We're getting the word to the launch directors and pilots if you can hear us. And of course, if you hear us counting down, you need to help us and then yell all glow, all phones at the end of that. Are they on board with us there? They are. Okay,
well,
let's try this.
Let's try an all
So this is
phone.
an all camera, all phone burn. All cameras, all phones. Here we go. Count loud. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cameras! Along Main Street it's happening.
Yep, spots out there.
Yeah. A little easier to do when we have, there they are. Look at on the screen. They were doing it.
Yeah.
Look at it. There you go.
There's folks
we
out
can
there
see
that
them.
have heard us.
Hey, great job. Thank you
That's
very
cool.
much.
Yeah, just a little fun.
Isn't that cool? It is cool. When we're at a rally where they can, everybody on the field can hear those. It really works nice.
Well, and I hadn't thought of that, but I've remarked several times at different events that I announce where I've seen, as I'm up on the stage and announcing, and the crowd is between us and the balloons, you see that field of stars is what it looks like with all the kind of like what you see now. If you turned all those lights out, the big lights, you'd have all those little twinkling lights out there that are the LED screens on everybody's various phones.
And, of course, one of the reasons that our speakers don't necessarily cover the entire field is just over the ditch on the west side of here, there are a number of residential homes.
Yes.
And so we are out here late, we are out here early in the morning, and noise ordinances and just being respectful of the neighborhood.
A good community neighbor, absolutely.
We try and keep the sound levels down
In
a
fact,
little bit.
I was going to make that very comment when we first started talking about Music Fiesta coming up earlier, because in the first year of Music Fiesta, we used our main stage.
Yes, we
that's
did.
On the center of Main Street.
Right.
And that stage points directly out to the west, and that's where
all
the
that
neighborhood
residential
is.
area
and
is.
all that noise, and there were some issues with noise from the Music Fiesta, and so for that reason, we've since replanned and moved the stage down to the northwest corner.
Okay. So we just did that flicker camera glow here tonight, and Kim is caught up with a couple of guys that participated. Kim?
Yeah, we are here with a couple of delightful couples. And you guys are all the way from where?
We are from Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
I'm from Corrales.
From Corrales.
All the way from Corrales.
All the way from Corrales. So we've been sitting here glowing and flickering and all that stuff. What do y'all, first of all, our friends from Oshkosh, where of course there's a big air show there. So is this your first time at Fiesta?
It is absolutely the first time we've ever been here.
So what do you think?
Friends from local here.
So what do you think?
I have to come back again. This is amazing. This is just a totally amazing event.
Do you have a favorite special shape?
Oh gosh, I'm kind of stuck on liking the pirate. What was it, an owl, Beth?
Well, there was an owl that wasn't a pirate, but there were several pirates.
Yeah, I really like the pirate. I like the pirates. Yeah, those are cool.
You guys from Corrales, you guys were telling me that you get flown over all the time, huh?
That's absolutely. They come over, they land on our property, they set up in the area. So it's a wonderful event every year.
One year we had the Marine Bulldog land in the driveway, and they gave us little tether rides to all the kids as a perk for letting them put their balloon together and fold it up and put it away in our driveway.
Yeah, we think that was probably Chesty Fuller, right?
Yeah.
The Marine?
Yes, it was. That was right. Yeah.
That was a long, and by the way, thank you for letting us land on your property, because we really, really need good landing sites. Do you guys have a favorite shape?
I'm very partial to the cow, the dairy cow, because the Creamland Dairy, because I come from Wisconsin originally, and so cow anything is dear to my heart.
For me, it's the pink elephant.
Well, as you can see, we're all having a great time out here, and the laser show has just started, and it's awesome. You can probably hear the crowd out here.
Yes, we can, Kim. Thank you very much. And so, yes, we are at 7:30. So we have, again, accelerated the schedule by about 15 minutes tonight. So the laser light show at 7:30 underway right now. Our fast track jumpers, skydivers, doing their pyrotechnic jump. That will happen at 7:45. The plane, you may already hear and see, is high above, making their wind adjustments, calculations, measurements, etc., to be prepared to jump in here. So we've got a few minutes of laser light show, which if you're down on the field or watching our feed, you'll be able to see the light show. And we then we'll have our jumpers and our fireworks show.
No.
So we still have a lot more to happen here tonight, but a fabulous glow. If you are here on the field and wanted to see it in its entirety, when you get home, you can go to balloonfiesta.com or the Balloon Fiesta Facebook page or the Balloon Fiesta YouTube channel. The shows will be up there as soon as they get processed. Both systems take a few minutes to process the video, and then they will be there. All the archives from Balloon Fiesta Live from this week are linked to the Facebook page and on the balloonfiesta.com page as well. So you can check all of the archives out. And again, tonight's show will be there shortly after the conclusion of our broadcast tonight. You can even go back and watch 2017's if you'd like. When you're there, be sure and like and share out and follow and do all those kinds of great thumbs up things that we do on the different social media platforms. We're tracking all of those as well as your views. There on our monitor, a great view of the laser light show and all the folks enjoying the laser light show, while our crews actually have to pack the balloons up and then go get in the propane line and refill the balloons with the propane they burned out tonight, so that they will be ready to fly tomorrow morning's mass ascension. As we've mentioned, preceding the mass ascension tomorrow morning, we'll have our Dawn Patrol show. Balloons that fly in the dark, in the pre-dawn hours. Put on a nice choreographed show. We'll be announcing that as well. We'll be on the air about 6 a.m. Mountain Time or 12 noon UTC. For those of you who want to tune in for the Dawn Patrol show in the morning, then a full mass ascension when all 550 balloons will take off in a couple of waves from the field here. For the pilots and crews, we have our awards luncheon banquet midday, and then tomorrow night our final balloon glow. And then Sunday morning, another Dawn Patrol show and our farewell mass ascension as well. 10 minutes to the live feed check there, Steve. 10 minutes to the live feed check. 10 minutes to the live feed check. We've talked about Team Fast Track, and if you've caught any of their show earlier, we get a live helmet cam view, just like we've had the drone view earlier tonight from Calibre Media House, providing our drone view, the only official registered drone that can be within the TFR, the 4-mile radius around Balloon Fiesta Park. Our Fast Track folks have a helmet cam. One of the 4 jumpers, all of them have cameras. One of the 4 actually has a live feed unit, so we'll be able to take you in the plane probably before they jump, and then of course following them down. And last night, for the first time, we got to see their pyro. We got the live feed, so the 10-minute went quick. So, but well, they're supposed to jump in 10 minutes, so yeah. We have the live feed up and running the test there, so we'll, oh, yep, I see it on the other monitor there. Inside the plane. Oh, and look at the moon. Great shot of the moon. Nice crescent, almost Halloween moon. As we continue to listen to the official radios and the aircraft radio, we have the communications between the plane and the ground and all the activities that are going on here as we coordinate all the things. There's a shot from inside the plane. You can see the purple glow from one of the suits of the jumpers. Each jumper last night had different colors on. So they're looking down on the city, the reflection of the lights in the window of the plane. Team Fast Track skydiving in earlier with the giant American flag and jumping in tonight with their own fireworks, their own pyrotechnics. And there's the laser shot going on with a balloon basket burner right in the foreground. Great shot, guys. The flashing lasers, the steady lasers, the shiny burner. That looks like, would you say that's a Lindstrand burner with the round pieces there? Looks like a Lindstrand or... could be, look, yeah, it could be a Cameron because of the bottom.
Yeah, I would hesitate to say. I don't, since I don't fly anymore and haven't for a few years, I'm not completely up to speed on all the...
It's kind of like a car, they have steering wheels and tires and radios and a little bit different shape and a little bit different design.
Yep.
With Cameron balloons or Lindstrand balloons. Many Aerostar balloons still out there, although Aerostar not in the business of making sport balloons anymore. Ultra Magic. Of course, all the special shapes that come up from Brazil. Who have I forgotten?
Kubitschek.
Czech Republic. I knew there was one more. There they are waving at us. Selection.com on the helmet there with the helmet cams.
So we're still almost 8 minutes away from their jump.
They're just casually flying around, making Tyler do all the work. Tyler, the chief pilot for Team Fast Tracks. Those were Lindstrand burners.
Okay.
They're Ed Chapman's.
Oh,
Thank you, Kim.
Okay, thank you, Kim.
Pretty good. I recognize my burners. What a nice laser light show we have going on.
Our special shapes still going? No, Lindsay, they are done. We've wrapped up the glow, and we're moving on to, in a few minutes, the jump of Team Fast Tracks, the laser light show going on right now. It's morning and pouring with rain in Perth in Western Australia right now. Sorry to hear that, Janet. It's a beautiful evening here, but hope you're enjoying the show.
Well, if it's raining outside and you're able to watch this, that makes everything right, I hope.
I hope so. Rebecca Webb says 9:35 in Georgia. I'll tune back in the AM.
Yeah, she gets to sleep in while we'll be out here at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It'll be 8 o'clock for them.
7:30, 8:30 in the morning there.
Well, if they're 2 hours, yeah, Georgia would be Eastern time. Johnny Petrin keeping our Cannon balloon up for us. Cannon, the presenting sponsor of this, the 47th annual Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Lots of folks on the feed reminiscing about some of their favorite older special shapes. Thomas Victoria says Tony the Tiger was a favorite of mine as a kid. And Robert Smathers says I liked the Burger King Flying Whopper. Mark Johnson used to fly that balloon. And so, yeah, some of the, going back to some of the special shapes we don't see very much anymore. We mentioned earlier tonight the Klondike Polar Bear, which is, to my knowledge, is not flying anymore. Jessica says she'll be here. Jessica McLeanan says she'll be here for Music Fiesta tomorrow. So the Ark balloon, yeah.
Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark.
Not here this year.
Is there somebody, Marlon? Oh, Marlon. Hi, Marlon. Marlon's asking, is there audio with the jumpers? No, there's not, other than our commentary, Marlon. Sorry about that. There's Cherie Chavez, says she likes Noah's Ark, which was originally built for kids. If you remember, all of the animals were looking down from the ark, and that was on purpose so that children looking up at the balloon would see the smiling faces of all the animals. That was a brilliant special shape, built by Aerostar, as a matter of fact. We were talking about them earlier.
We called it Arky.
Yep, called it Arky. Mr. Peanut was a
Mr.
favorite balloon
Peanut
in the 80s. Yeah.
That was a
Had
nice,
some
nice
exciting times
shape.
with Mr. Peanut up at the balloon event in Danville, Illinois, some years ago. The Energizer Bunny. Does the Energizer Bunny still fly? That's a good question, Christine. I'm not certain. I don't believe it does. Glow Kehoe used to be the pilot of that balloon, and I think they retired the balloon finally. But don't go to the bank on that, but I'm fairly certain that's true.
A number of those corporate shapes, they build that contract to fly it for X number of years.
Yeah, it's usually tied to a marketing
some sort of marketing campaign.
Although the bunny marketing plan is still going. That commercial where the bunny walks up and erases longest lasting battery and writes bunny on there, that's still I've seen it several times
still
on TV
using
here
that.
this week.
But they put dollars into different places there, and of course when they're flying those, they tend to set those up 2 and 3 times a day, not necessarily in the best time of day. So the wear and tear on those balloons
is pretty extreme.
It's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. The suits are lighting up.
Lights are going on the suits, so we must be getting close while we continue to watch the laser light show on the field.
A moment ago. Yep,
there they are.
There they are.
Yep.
Turning the lights on.
Looks like Christmas up there in that plane.
3 minutes. Hey, Fast Track, this is announced. If you guys would give us a wave, we'd appreciate that.
There's a thumbs up from one of the team.
Have the divers give us a wave. We've got them on the screen.
Lights on.
There they go.
There they go. Thumbs up and a nice wave.
Princess wave. Yeah. They're telling them to wave at it. If we can grab the shot there again, please, Truck.
There they are.
There they go. Yay! Look at the thumbs up. They are ready.
They're ready to go. We're ready to watch too. This is an awesome show. If you've not seen this, there's even Tyler's waving at us. All right.
Thank you very much.
Go,
We're
Tyler.
waving back from the booth.
Hey, but remember rule number 1: fly the plane, fly the plane, fly the
plane. Fly
the
plane. Just under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes from jump now.
Yeah. Got their glow lights on the suits. You kind of see the ankles there. That's where the firework packs are going to be.
Yep, and there are going to be fireworks, folks, so get ready for that.
This is not just a light show coming down. This is a full pyrotechnic, full-blown fireworks in the sky, light 'em up type show.
Good question. What do they do with old balloons that don't fly anymore? Well, usually they just get stuck in a bag somewhere and shipped off to a warehouse or a garage, or
sometimes they are turned into tarps.
Sometimes.
So you'll buy a new balloon and you'll use the old one to use it as a ground tarp to keep the new balloon clean.
In regard to special shapes, there are a couple of people, Linus Mastis here in the United States, and I know there's an individual in Europe that once the special shapes are kind of essentially worn out and no longer airworthy, they buy them and sort of have them in a personal museum type thing. But Olivia says they go to the balloon graveyard. Well, you're right.
Yep, of some sort.
Yep, somewhere out
there. So
the
jump plane is out over the north end of the field now. We're less than 1 minute away from them exiting the plane. So I'm going to guess about the time the plane circles back to the south end of the field, we will see the jumpers exit out. There's a shot on the video feed of the plane itself.
Yeah, my feed locked. I can see the comments, but my video locked up with a shot of them in the airplane.
And I can see the jumpers moving towards the door. There they are. 15 seconds.
The ready light is on. You see that yellow light at the jump door. That's the light that. And look at that pack of fireworks that are strapped around his legs there.
Well,
wow.
It's a pretty good show here. So in the door, and we see them. Lights are on and flashing. And there they go.
Jumpers away. See, look at all that. Look at that size of that pack on his leg there.
Yep.
Wow.
And there goes another one. So if you look up, you can see the neon lights of the jumpers above. And, of course, we're seeing the helmet cam as well. So we can see what they see of the ground.
That's ground. Looks like we have 4 good canopies. Hey, affirmative. We have 4 good canopies up here. Fast there. Go loop. Go loop.
Calling for the loop maneuver up there. They say they see 4 great canopies.
Yep, I can see all 4 lighted suits.
And all the lights of the city below. Of course, Balloon Fiesta Park in the middle of that.
Yeah, it's hard to decide whether to look up and watch the
I know.
The actual skydivers or just sit here and watch it on the feed.
We're going to have to work on split screens or something
Yeah,
for next year to. And there's the fireworks.
There's the first of the fireworks. Now that's just the beginning. Those are just the sparklers.
The teasers.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more to come.
And seeing it from above and below.
Yeah.
Fireworks in the sky from Team Fast Tracks. Brought to us by Selection.com.
First time for them to be at Fiesta, so another new first-time event added to our schedule.
I understand we've been working for 10 years to bring this team here. Glad to
Wow.
have it that they've actually made it here.
That's a nice shot there.
Oh, look up, Glenn. They're flying in a line formation
Oh,
up
look
there.
at that. Absolutely.
And following, now they're making the turn.
Now
Look
they're
at
making
that.
a turn. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, fabulous.
And we've got fire off as the sparkler packs are extinguished.
And here goes the next one.
Yep. And now we got fire back on.
Formation skydiving. Oh, what a great view.
That is so cool.
My neck is hurting.
Mine too, yeah.
They are directly over the top
I
of
fear
our
if I bend over
rooftop
much
studio.
further
Actually,
to see
they're
it,
a little bit farther behind us
I'm going
now.
to topple right off the back of our riser here.
We'll just have to watch the helmet cam. Look at that view of the
Look at that.
of the
Look at
city
the
there
city.
and the
Wow.
fireworks in there. Isn't that fabulous? Yulia Pengburn with the one of the skydivers that we're getting the live feed off of her helmet cam. Husband Brian Pengburn is jumping as well. Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Yeah, there go the fireworks.
Dimitra Dadik and Matt Harvey, the other 2 jumpers up there. You said those others, those little sparklers were just teasers.
They were. Yeah.
What a shot.
Just amazing.
And they're still flying that formation up there.
So what we've got a red, yellow, a green, and a purple suit, it looks like. Just saw in that shot, trying to see the 4 different colors of the 4 jumpers.
Yes. Oh, multiple
Look
colors.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Flying formation and the fireworks out to the. That is just.
Oh, wow.
What a shot. What an awesome show. If I quit gawking, I could maybe take a quick picture. That's pretty cool.
Team Fast Tracks with their pyrotechnic jump for us.
And now you can see just the lighted suits of the jumpers. We've got yellow, red, green, and purple.
Coming in, yep.
Might be
and listen to the crowd. Yeah. And here comes jumper number 1 into the landing zone, the LZ, touchdown.
Yep. Looks like he slid safely into home.
And here comes number 2. And touchdown.
Oh, nice stand-up landing. Nicely
Look at the
done.
wave.
Yeah,
Look at
wave.
there you go.
There's
And number 3 in the green.
And so this will
And
be
Yulia coming down, coming down with the camera last.
You can see her colleagues there on the ground, those 3 lighted figures.
Kind of making their own there. And down she is.
Yep, touchdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Fast Tracks.
And here comes, is that Tyler coming now with a pass over
Tyler,
the field?
yep.
See the 2 bright white lights up in the sky, landing lights on, as he's going to make a low-level pass over the field and
Team
over
Fast
the divers.
Track, this announced. Great show, fabulous show, great response from the crowd. Thank you very much. Tyler says he's going to see us tomorrow morning, so we're going to jump in the morning again as well.
Are we? Okay.
Must be. There comes Tyler. You're going to get a wing wiggle, Tyler? Watch for it. There it is.
Right over the rooftop
Thank you,
studio.
Team
Thank you,
Fast
Tyler.
Tracks. Thanks,
Nice
Tyler.
job,
Great
guys.
job, everyone. All right. What a great show. Even better than last night,
Absolutely, I think so.
Definitely better than last night. And last night we were in awe of what was going on.
That's awesome. To have that live video feed as they exit the aircraft is just incredible.
And to be able to talk to them and hear what's going on. Yeah, we are definitely connected in, and we appreciate Selection.com making that possible for us.
Yes, indeed.
And so now we are just a few minutes away from the other fireworks show here tonight. The Afterglow Fireworks presented by Sandia RV Resort and Casino. That'll be taking place mostly from the north end, but be prepared for stuff along the west side as well.
And you and I have an O-Dark 30 wake-up call because we start tomorrow early with Dawn Patrol show. And then, of course, the weekend mass ascension. And then later in the day, we'll be handing out the championship competition awards.
Yes.
And then we do this all over again tomorrow night. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a good day.
I hope so.
So, Glenn, you and I are going to say goodnight on behalf of Ruth and Kim. We'll leave our Windfire production folks up to bring you the fireworks without our interfering with our stories.
Without our stellar commentary, as it might sometimes be.
There you go. So enjoy the fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming out here tonight. Thanks for joining us on the feed. Remember, the archives are there shortly after they get the opportunity to process through Facebook and YouTube.
There we are.
And
we have the headlights off,
oh, yeah,
so we're a little dark.
So we're there.
So we can see the show.
So that's Glen Moyer.
I am. And you're
I'm
Art Lloyd.
Jr. And watch the fireworks as they get started.
There
we'll
they
see
go.
you tomorrow morning right here on Balloon Fiesta Live. Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
You know what? I wouldn't think it would be far. I don't know her, but you know. You know people's name? Yeah, he's got like.
This has been live coverage of the 2018 Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta presented by Canon. Always in October and always in Albuquerque, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is the world's premier ballooning event. This program is a production of AIBF Inc., all rights reserved. Thanks for watching Balloon Fiesta Live.